What up?
I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
Coach JB.
Yeah.
Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. How did
You are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. You's not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
Got to get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so fast, you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight, and I said that guy can be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
The gas, Smitty and Jason Brown.
To the Coach JB show.
What up? It is Talk That Talk Tuesday. So talk and I will talk back. I got the fresh bucket hat on. We're giving a giveaway away, 10 free bucket hats this Friday. So check out my Twitter post, my IG post, and do what it say. Follow directions for once. Like, pound the like button, subscribe, become a member of this show so we can get to 50,000 subscribers by football season come August. It is June 25th right now. So give us about a month and a half, 2 months. And get us to 50,000. We need about 9,900 new subscribers to get there. So pound that like, subscribe, become a member. Also, head on over to our winnable.com/slap picks. And also, make sure you subscribe to our Slap Nation Discord. And also, CoachJBStore.com got all the merch plus a signed copy of my bestseller, Hate Me Now, Love Me Later. So go head on over there, CoachJBStore.com. You can get these, plus a lot more. So head on over there and pound that like today as we got a loaded lineup and a loaded show. Obviously, the NHL Stanley Cup occurred last night. It went down, and we're going to dive into it. Can't wait to get Smitty's take, as Smitty has been really studying hockey as of late. But let's start in this thing the right way. The Florida Panthers secured their first NHL championship, Stanley Cup, by defeating the Edmonton Oilers in a Game 7 thriller. However, I always have a however because I'm just a pessimistic asshole, just a downright negative human. And look, the Conn Smythe Trophy winner was from the losing team, Connor McDavid. Connor McJesus, y'all call him. Now I understand the NHL is unlike the NBA. I do understand that the NBA is not like the NHL, and I do understand the NBA issues a finals MVP. The NHL issues what's called a Conn Smythe. 2 words, C-O-N-N, Smythe, S-M-Y-T-H-E. It is the best overall player throughout the entire playoffs, not just the finals. So I just wanted to be clear. I do know about that. But now, I want to know how we've become so insensitive to winners winning. Winners winning. Why? Losers and second-place trophies are being handed out and at all-time high, and we have accepted it. This is why I use the term mediocrity is the new excellence, because it is. We have accepted it and have allowed it instead of coached it. We have a goalie on the best defense in the NHL. By the way, contrary to belief, shut down the person you issued the Conn Smythe to last night several times on one-on-one open net situations, one-on-one. Last night, and yet he gets a pat on the back and a congratulations. Good job. You shut down the Conn Smythe winner, and you won the title, but we're going to give the winning trophy of the Conn Smythe to the loser. Meanwhile, the Florida Panthers had Alexander Volkov, who dominated on the Stanley Cup championship team, while his teammates and himself shut down not only Connor McDavid last night, but Draisaitl was a no-show as well on the biggest stage of the sport. It just don't sit well with me, but what do I know? Let's dive into it. The Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup. JJ Redick has his introductory press conference with the Lakers. Can't wait to break down his resume that is so deep. Deion Sanders tells Joe Klatt he's a real father, not a baby daddy, if he won't follow sons to the NFL. Steve Kim joins to talk Cam Ward and the Miami Hurricanes football, plus a little Ryan Garcia and what he has going on with Jimmy Butler at the craps table. Travis Kelce does a performance with Taylor Swift. Kansas City Chiefs Queendom just keeps having a more and more interesting offseason. Tennessee Vols baseball wins national championship with Peyton Manning at hand, and Peyton Manning's been vocal this whole entire World Series. But before we begin, my co-host, Naptown legend, Far East Sider 317, LeBron hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, AR5 defending, Caitlin Clark jocking, Fox Sports very own, Big Smitty.
What's going on, JB? What's going on, Bailey, in the background? And what's
that laugh is fake or real? Because I got people been asking me.
All my real ones who watch this show, all my real homies, for real, from day one, from Naptown, from 317, they know that's called the Smitty laugh. It's the realest laugh. I've been doing it. My laugh changed from when I was an adolescent to a teenager. And this has been my laugh since then. We used to break it down at football. Smitty laugh on 3. Smitty laugh on me. 1, 2, 3. All the real ones know. If anybody from Naptown who really knows when he's watching the show, let them know, verify it, tweet at them, DM them. That's called the Smitty laugh. It's the real laugh. Whether you like it or hate it, you love it or not, it's me. And I'm always be me, JB. Dwayne lead off 06. And just like that, the show sucks again. Cringy ass fake laugh. Yet again, Dwayne lead off 06. You're here again.
What's his
watching
name?
the show again.
What's
you
his
must
name?
love cringy ass fake laughs and shitty shows.
What's his name?
Dwayne lead off 06.
It's always a guy with that name.
And no picture.
Why is it just not a real guy like Johnny with his picture, him and his kids and his wife and shit? It's always some fucking nobody.
I would almost respect that if someone with a full
Yeah,
family,
stand on business. Stand on
had an
business.
opinion. Yeah.
Stand on business.
That dude probably 7 years old.
Yeah.
Eating pizza rolls right now.
Hey, even your fake
Combination
laugh.
style.
Your fake laugh is realer than half these fake fucks that come in here. That's what's crazy.
Yep.
I got to dive into this show, but we got a lot going on, Smitty. I don't know. You watched it last night. I got to get something off my chest right out the gate.
All right, talk to me.
So Greeny has been down on Get Up. Get Up wakes me up every morning because my TV stays on overnight.
It's your favorite show, boy.
Well, I don't really watch it, but it wakes me up. It wakes me up. It's because I don't know if you know. You don't know. I hope you never know this. Pause. Anyone that knows me, I have to sleep with the TV on.
Right.
And my ceiling fan. So my ceiling fan and my TV stay on. So it's either Netflix throughout the night. Just I put it on like some series. I don't even give a fuck what it is. I don't watch it. I'm asleep. Or I try to sleep. But it stays on. That's probably why I don't sleep, to be honest. Duh. But at the same time, I have to sleep with the TV on. I have been that way my entire life. So, like last night, I think was Seinfeld most of the night. Most nights, it's like
Chappelle Show.
Chappelle shows most nights, or it's Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah. I mean, I go to sleep with the TV on too most of the time, but usually I'll wake up at the middle of the night and then I'll turn it off and then I'll go back to sleep. But like my initial sleep is with the TV on.
Yeah, I don't turn mine off ever. I'm better than you. That's why. But here's the thing. Here's the reason why. So I wake up to Get Up yesterday and I see a motherfucker wearing an all pink on pink suit.
Okay.
And I'm saying, what the fuck is we wearing? So it was Ryan Clark. He had a fucking pink undershirt on with a pink suit on, and I'm just telling you right now, he is not a lead anchor. He should never be a lead fucking. Okay, look, Get Up is what it is, but Greeny is pretty good.
Yeah.
And god damn, Ryan Clark's the worst fucking anchor. He should never be an anchor. He got to get back to just doing the pivot or whatever.
Now, are you being honest, or are you just saying you don't like him?
No, I'm being real. He's horrible, dog. You got to watch him. It just his voice changes to be an anchor. You know how you got to be very demanding on certain shit, and you got to when you lead in certain shit, you got to be like, so the NHL last night, like it's bad, homie. It's a bad look. But then you wear all pink. Like, why?
Was he filling in for Greeny? Like, Greeny was off or something?
He's filling in all week.
Oh, okay. Well, he's probably getting his practice reps. That's all it is.
No, he's done it before. He's been a lead-in before for guys that go on vacation. Greeny, I think, is on vacation. I think he's at the Euro Cup.
Got you. Okay. I mean, listen, we all got our own roles. You know, if somebody mentions you got to fill in. That's not Ryan Clark's ideal position. He's more of a true analyst where you set him up and then he goes in. You know what I'm saying? I've seen
exactly.
Like that. Yeah.
That's my point. That's my point, though. To my point, to your point, and to my point, if I'm the head coach, homie, guess who's not my assistant head coach?
But your roster is your roster, though, JB.
So guess what? No. I pick my coaches, and I know who fills in for me when I leave on the road. My assistant head coach is going to be someone that I know that everyone's going to listen to and understand that he's being authentic and real. That shit looks horrible.
The TV's about ratings, though. TV's about ratings.
But my point is, ESPN is the head coach.
But let's say that the best fill-in is some like casual, like no-name guy. Maybe they're really good at doing it, but they're like a no-name. TV's about ratings. So if they can't put no-name in there to fill in for Greeny, because if I'm a fan, I'm going to turn it on. Like, who is this cat? I don't turn it off. But at least with Ryan Clark, you're like, oh, it's Ryan Clark. Okay, let me just hear what they got to say. Even if he's not phenomenal at it. So you got to think from a rating standpoint.
I get it, but here's the thing. If I'm Disney or ESPN, I'm sitting there like, let me put a motherfucker that can actually speak and actually doesn't fake it. I would have put Bart Scott in that motherfucker. I would have put goddamn Dan Orlovsky, somebody, shit, even though in the Dan too, but hey, somebody like Bart Scott to me is the best person on that show. Like,
shout out to Ryan Clark, man. Good analyst, man. Good hell of a Pittsburgh Steeler. I haven't met the guy personally. I know JB don't like him. I don't know the cat. I haven't met him yet. So shout out to him until I meet him.
What if you meet him and he just like sock your ass because you with me?
Well, then we'll go from there. Well, like you take more information and then you adjust towards that. But as of right now, where I stand right now, I have zero beef with Ryan Clark.
But if he walked up to you and you saw him in Vegas and he just chastised your ass because you fuck with JB, wow, what are you doing?
Is a pig pussy pork? What do you mean? What am I doing? What are you doing? What's any grown man doing?
Oh, man, I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry, Mr. Pink Suit. I love you, Ryan Clark. You're the guy.
The better question is, what are you doing? You're the one who's in Vegas all the time. What are you doing if he sees you and he starts to and he press you?
I've already been by him, and the motherfucker just kept on mobbing by me, homie, because he knows the deal.
You did too, though. You kept mobbing by him too, though. Two days to be true.
I was sitting down. I was sitting down. I'm all access. What you mean? I'm all access, homie. I'm sitting down with Pat and a couple AEs, and we're chilling. Boom, come on.
I'm saying you didn't walk with him either. That's all I'm saying. Keep it funky.
You must not know me. You must not know me very well.
Listen, we're not talking about the JB of 20 years ago. I'm talking about the JB now who's about 50 years old now, JB. You're not the same animal.
But remember, there's no bitch in my blood.
I never said that.
That don't change, homie. That don't change. That don't change.
You old heads, though, be reminiscing, thinking y'all still that same 25-year-old who was out in the street, game begging adjacent. You wasn't a game beggar, but you was right next to it. Like, you're not that guy no more. You 50 years old now, which is okay.
Here's the difference. At this age, you don't start nothing, but you don't turn it down either.
I hear you. I'm just saying.
Back in the day, I might have started something. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference in age. I'm just letting you know. But anyway, I got to hit you youngsters or some shit sometimes, some free game. But let's dive into this free game, actually. It's Tuesday, and we're going to talk that talk. We're going to dive into it, but let's start with the quote of the day, brought to you by betonline.ag. Smitty, we got a proud new sponsor, of course, for the second part of the year, and that's BetOnline. Continue to be your number one source for all basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. March Madness is here. Join us every Monday and Friday with Jeff Nadu as we will pick them and up-to-minute odds, stats, and trends. You can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop to your mobile device. Head on over to BetOnline today. Become part of the team, and remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for 50% off plus welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Peace. Hey, Smitty, before we do the quote of the day, let me do the quote of the day. Let me do the quote of the day before I forget. My ADHD, it is what it is. Let me do the quote of the day first. Quote of the day, Smitty, because it's a perfect one. BetOnline, head on over there, use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV. Quote of the day: to handle yourself, use your head. To handle others, use your gut.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good
my own.
one.
You can't find that online. That's my own.
I might use that for my clothing brand today. I might put that
nothing.
on there.
All right, that's trademarked. You're not using nothing.
I'm gonna tag you.
It don't matter about tagging me. I don't think you get it.
If I put it in quotes and I put by Coach Jason Brown, I'm giving you credit. I'm acknowledging it's yours.
You're not sourcing a goddamn
yeah. AP format. Yeah.
All right. Okay, look, contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there, use the promo code Coach AB. I actually won on some hockey Prize Picks last night. Mm-hmm. Contrary to belief, Smitty, another one of my own. Love all, Smitty. Trust few, Smitty. Everything is real, Smitty, but not everyone is true.
You in your bag this morning. I don't know how you slept last night. Or who you
I didn't.
Maybe that's the key. Maybe you just,
I didn't.
Just don't sleep.
I didn't sleep.
That's the key, I think.
Love all, trust few. Everything is real, but not everyone is true. Just keep it real, contrary to belief. Before we do the poll question, I want to address something real quick.
Okay.
Number one, real quick. Everyone in the chat talking about me running a mile. Now, I want to be really, really clear on something. This is the difference between everyone that thinks you could comment on somebody that you know, or you're in their circle, or you're cool with, negatively, and then think that you cannot be barked back at. You all that think that are the same folks that have no clue about these old school cats' mental fortitude. Mm. This is the issue that I have with a lot of you youngsters that really don't know. See, a lot of you youngsters would meet me in a dark alley and would never come out. And that's the problem. But you'll all go in there thinking you're coming out. That is the fucking huge disparity. The huge fucking disparity in this thinking that we have between these generations. Mm. Y'all think you could go on social media and clap at anybody, even your own partners, homies, and acquaintances, and think there's no repercussion to be had. Mm. That's the crazy part. See, where I grew up and where I'm from, you don't talk shit about your partners, your circles, or your homies. You just don't do it, not in a negative manner, unless you're fucking around and we know it.
Yeah.
And then when you call that person back out and clap back because he said something negative, and then you get hurt about it, is what's crazy to me. And then the people that defend that is what's even crazier to me. And then the people that think that I wouldn't be able to run a mile are the same people out here who are ordering Instacart and Uber Eats. Like, it doesn't make no sense. You have no clue what I'm willing to go through and do just to prove, Jay, just to prove, Smitty, just to prove you wrong. See, that's the difference. Y'all don't care about proving me wrong. You will quit and bend over and take it in the ass like this. I'm not. I'm the motherfucker. I'm that motherfucker. That's what you don't get. Like, running a mile to me, Smitty, by the way, I used to be, I'm slow as fuck, like a 40.
Yeah.
Or 100 or any of that. I'll never run that shit fast. And my coaches even used to be like, conditioning test? They're like, God damn, you're just slow, I think. I go, yeah. I am. He goes, but goddamn, you'll never quit and you'll just complete the whole fucking thing. I'm like, yeah, that's easy. Running to me is easy. Running to me is easy. I didn't say I was going to run a 2-minute mile, motherfuckers. Right. I said, I'm going to not stop and run the mile. Plus, however many more miles.
As long as I'm distracted and I'm going at a slow, like you said, a slower pace, I can do it. The problem is, I catch myself trying to really get out the gate and moving, and I tire myself out. And I got
a mile to me. A mile is fucking easiest. I like it. I'm laughing in my mind because a mile is really nothing.
My thing is it's funny that running a mile straight without stopping is the test to know if you're in shape or not.
Yeah, why? That ain't no test for in shape, by the way.
That ain't the thing. Like,
that's a mental test. That ain't
anything. Let's go do a 300-yard shuttle. Let's go do a fucking.
That's what I'm saying. Why I never made it, because I wasn't fast enough.
Right.
But I always finished it.
Right. But I'm saying, we did the. That's a real test. Like,
yes, we did
300-yard shuttle sprints.
But we did the 360-yard shuttle. Remember, that's 60-yard intervals, and I used to put my teams at Indy through that. We did that when I was with the Chiefs. We did that in NFL Europe. The 360 shuttle has made motherfuckers quit playing football.
Hell yeah! So I think we did it two ways. Either one, we do 50 and back, but I think for the most part, we would do 25 and back 6 times. And the real ones know it's the turn that gets you. It's the stop, and that's the part that gets you. So
I don't know if you did. I don't know. Remember, I had a fucking straight psychopath, ex Navy SEAL that ran our conditioning. Did you do 360 twice?
360 twice. Oh, well, we did 300 first of all, but yeah, we would do it twice though. Yes.
Okay, so let me be clear. We're on the same one.
Okay.
You did a 300. You did a 300. Let's say D line. We're up.
Yep.
That's how you did it, right?
Down, back.
All right. So you did 300-yard shuttle.
Yeah.
And then did they give you a 5-minute break? Somebody kept the time. Somebody kept your time. Your position group coach kept your time.
So like another group went. So it was big, which is us, mid skill and skill.
Yeah. So we're the same.
We go and then,
So another group went while you were waiting 5 minutes.
And then we have to go back up.
And then you average those 2 times.
Oh, is that how they did it?
That's a real fucking 360 shuttle test. So they took your first time. Let's say you. So I know the test score. So by the way, D-line, O-line, you guys, D-line I think was like at 54. O-line was at 58 seconds.
Right. You have to make it.
Then you wait 5 minutes, you do it again.
I think for us, we just had to make it both times. There wasn't no fucking average. It was like whatever the time was, you had to make it.
That's soft. Now I know why you're like you are.
That's hard as hell, actually.
If you'd have played with me, you'd be a whole nother human right now.
Shout out to Coach David Feely.
You'd be in this motherfucker talking shit to everybody because you would have been coached by me, and it would have been a whole other thing. Here's the real way. Here's the real way to do it. You do the 360 shuttle, you get 5 minutes rest, and then you do the 360 shuttle again. And then I take your first time and I average it with your second time. And if you don't average it, you got 5 a.m. every day that week until you pass it.
I'm going to tell you right now, the director of football sports performance, he's now at Duke. He was with me at Ball State. Coach David Feely, that's my guy. I'm going to try to get him on the show. He is a psychopath when it comes to working out, and I'm going to leave it at that. He's crazy.
Hey, Trell remembers I did that shit with my high school kids, Smitty. I had them cats doing the shuttle at my high school 6 a.m. Trell will tell you. He remembers it like yesterday.
But look, Trell ain't got that mindset though. Trell type of dude.
Trell made it.
Trell get too tight. Trell get frustrated. He start arguing with you, cussing you out. He ain't got that dog in him like I do.
Trell actually as much as he talks in here, he never spoke back.
I'm fucking with you, Trail. Shout out to Trail, man. Let's keep it moving though, man. You got a question, your poll question, man. Let's hear it.
Yeah, drop it in the chat. Do you believe JJ Redick when he said he and LeBron had no contact about the Laker job? Start with you, Smitty. Everybody in the chat, drop it. Do you really? This is why I don't like, and I said start with you, but I'm just going to take over. This is why, now I'm really going to get your answer first, but I'm just going to give you a statement on this whole topic. This is why I don't like, this is why I don't have respect for this dude. And I never have since he's talked about the plumbers and the firemen. I never will either. He pays no homage to the old school heads that would have fucking lit his ass up back in the day. Here's the thing. Don't start the job off being a liar and fake. Like, don't start the job off being a liar and a fake. You're going to really have us out here believing that you do a podcast with the dude and then fess up and say, I talked to him for 15 minutes on the phone prior to being hired, but that was it. You notice he didn't say what they talked about? Well, why'd you talk to him for 15 minutes, dog? Right. This shit don't even add up. And here's the cold part. Trust me, I'm a person that's been through this. Right now, JJ's being loved because he dropped 2 fuck bombs. He's being loved right now because he said, I don't really fucking care. Yeah. And he also said, what did he say? It's none of your fucking business or something like that. So everybody's like, yeah, we like JJ cussed. All right, JJ, be careful what you ask for. In about 2 weeks, you'll be the most hated motherfucker on the internet. Take it from me.
How you know?
Yeah, exactly. I was loved. Damn, that motherfucker stand on business. He cussing everybody out. 2 weeks later, that motherfucker should be in jail. How we talking to them black kids? Internet's funny, homie. Be careful what you ask for, JJ. And I'm just watching that shit like, God damn, I'm seeing fake all through it. Like, you can't be faker, homie, because the thing is, real recognizes real, and the players playing are already gonna. I'm just telling you right now, before it even started, he lost. He fucking lost already, dog. And I'm like, God damn it. If the cussing would have been genuine, and I would have been like, damn, JJ, okay. It was forced, homie. It was forced, and I'm over it. But anyway, what is your take? Do you believe that? The question is, do you believe he spoke or didn't speak to LeBron before getting the job?
I wish I had my bucket hat with me right now. I would put the hat on because this is nothing but cap. If this was facts or cap segment, this is a straight cap, 100% by JJ. To his defense, what he supposed to say? Yeah, me and LeBron, man, with the last 2 months we've been talking about this and putting together a plan. He's been going to Jenny Buss and Pelinka and pitching me as a potential coach, and he told me he would love to have me. And the whole reason why we did this podcast in the first place was to show our relationship and show how our mindsets are similar on the court and how we could benefit each other. I mean, he can't say that, JB. He can't say that. So he tried to come up with a lie that would still sound somewhat believable. That's why he was like, you know what? We didn't speak until 15 or 20 minutes, after I got the job, right before I got the job, or when I got the offer, we spoke then, and then that was it. He knew he couldn't go out there and be like, we never spoke at all. Because then it'd sound kind of like, all right, bro, y'all friends, I got a podcast. I mean, so he had to throw out one little line. We spoke 15 minutes after I got the offer. Okay, to try to make it sound realistic. It's hard for me to believe, bro. That's why I got to put the cap on that y'all never. Like, this is your boy. Like, I'm not even necessarily mad at you for talking to him. I'm just like, I know you did. If my boy was kind of helped me get a job, we spoke about it. Duh, that's obvious. Like, I didn't rather you be like, yeah, of course we spoke. And it is what it is. He's trying to protect LeBron so LeBron don't have to like worry about, facing those questions. He's trying to protect, his bosses now, Rob Pelinka, Jenny Buss, because if he goes out there and admits to him and LeBron talked about it, now this just no longer do we have to guess and assume who's running that organization and making those decisions. Now we know and have clarity of who makes those decisions if he goes out there and admits that him and LeBron had already spoken. So that's what it is. It's cap. It's easily cap. You could tell he was trying to really think about what to say in that situation. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know what he was supposed to say.
Here's the thing I got. Here's the issue I have. Okay, back in the day, there was tampering. Yep. Don't tamper. You can't tamper, blah, blah, blah. This is a full-on literal reason they put the rule in. So don't sit here and tell me that these cats haven't talked when they. So here let me give you a little example of what I mean. So I got charged with 8 felonies in Kansas after I left the shithole town, came home to California, bought a new house, find out on Facebook, my agent calls me and says, hey, you got 8 felonies charged. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, huh? And I move on. Well, it was true. And the cowards charged me for some bullshit for still, we don't know why. It's all a witch hunt. Well, I beat it, of course. But here's the thing. Do you know the judge, the main judge in that town, had to recuse himself because he was a friend of the program of mine. So he couldn't hear the case.
Because he would be naturally biased, right?
He knows me.
Right.
Okay, that is a real thing. So I'm just throwing that out there. That is a real thing. So
it's a little different though, but I get
no. Because in football, in the NFL, it's the same shit. The NFL tampering rules. Guess what? Kirk Cousins just got fined, and the Atlanta Falcons just got hit for it. And there's an underlying thing called conflict of interest. There's conflict of interest, there's tampering, and there's these rules in place for a reason. The motherfucker did a podcast with them that should have automatically, which is why I said it's all smoke and why they didn't make the announcement earlier, because they couldn't, in my opinion. I think they had to have a cool down period. This is the funniest shit of all of them right here. Like, let me be honest. I think Bailey in this, our producer Bailey has a better resume coaching. You have probably coached some sort of kids at something, even at fucking YMCA. I bet you there's 1,000 guys in this chat that have coached high school, JUCO. I know the head coach at Chaffey College right now is a much better coach than JJ Redick. He's a legendary JUCO coach who also coached high school to some state titles, who's coached a lot of NBA players. I know for a fact he's better than that. This is the resume that got this dude the Lakers head job. I'm just telling you.
But how many of these guys who you just named in the chat and me, you, whatever, have actually played at this highest level? That's the difference.
Steve Nash played at the highest level. There. Who was a better player, Steve Nash or JJ Redick?
Steve Nash, 2-time MVP.
How did it go?
It was quick. It was short-lived.
Oh, I'm just throwing it out.
But he also to Steve Nash's whatever. Like we put all the blame on Steve Nash. Cool, he's the head coach. He was dealing with some divas, man. James Harden came there out of shape, wanted to leave after the year. Kyrie got hurt. Like, it was a lot of shit going on.
Speak on it.
I'm saying it was a lot of shit going on, man.
Yeah, speak on it.
That Kyrie, KD, James Harden, this combination just didn't work. KD wanted to just play ball, didn't want to lead. Kyrie was a more immature version of himself. James Harden came out here out of shape and said he wanted to be there. A year later, wanted to go to Philly.
Yeah, get it. Hell
like,
yeah.
All that.
Break that shit down. Hell yeah. Thank you for making my fucking point, homie. A guy who's never coached. I'm hearing the same rhetoric right now about this dude. And this is the thing I keep hearing. What you just said. Everybody in my DMs and Twitter and Instagram. Coach, you're going to eat your words. He know basketball. He was a hooper. He's smart. Have you heard him talk? Knowing basketball and coaching it are fucking galaxies apart. Knowing basketball and having a basketball IQ is galaxies apart from leading men, millionaire men, who are already the most egotistical, money-hungry, driven humans on this planet. You have no clue what it takes to get those men from point A to point B. I don't give a fuck if you're the Albert Einstein of basketball. You have no clue what it takes to lead men and take them from point A to point B. period. And now you just said diva after diva. He has LeBron James, homie, who's known for getting coaches fired every year. He has AD, who's as clear as soft as glass. And you got the most fucking prima donna fan base in the Basketball Association. The LA Lakers, who are the most fair weather fans, soon as the Lakers lose the first week, they're going to be Clipper fans. And then if JJ goes on a 10-game win streak, those same Clipper fans will be Laker fans the next week. This is what we do in LA because we lost a football team to St. Louis some 20 years ago, and everybody stopped liking NFL football in LA. And it was evident, Smitty, because LA comes back home to the Rams and win a Super Bowl, and they have a parade in downtown LA, and 30 people showed up. Come on, man. Like, this is what I'm saying. This is a fan base unlike any JJ you've ever been around. LA burns cars and buildings down when the fucking Kings win a Stanley Cup. Hockey! LA will burn your house down if you lose games in LA. Go watch and ask the Dodgers. Go to a Dodger game and see how many motherfuckers get smoked every night. I'm just telling you, this is not Cleveland. This is not fucking Detroit. This isn't fucking New Orleans. This is LA. Just be ready. Just be ready to come at me later and say, damn, he sure knew basketball. Yeah, but he fucking don't know how to coach. There's a huge difference. There's a huge difference in leading men. He's not going to go out there, Smitty, and just write up the prettiest plays and everyone's supposed to just buy into it and say, all right, that's a hell of a play. I've never seen it. There's two things going on, Smitty. First of all, he draws up the best play ever. They go through it, and the shot's missed. Okay, shots missed, right?
Yep, happens.
So the result didn't happen. The result didn't happen from the beautifully executed play.
Right.
So we don't know how good the play was because it didn't go down.
Right.
Okay, so now guess what we have to do? This guy has to get that team that missed the shot on the beautifully executed play by the genius Albert Einstein himself, J.J. Redick. Now he has to get that team back in transition on defense to get the ball back to do another beautifully executed play that he wrote up because he's such a basketball icon and savant. So they don't go back on defense. AD falls down, breaks his fucking pinky toe. And now we have guys that don't get back in transition. Then we got LeBron sitting at that side, D'Lo on his cell phone. And then we're saying, damn, JJ knew basketball. He coached fucking AAU. And that's who you hired. See, there's a difference. Coaches don't really understand. That's why Mike Singletary couldn't fucking coach. This is why, in my opinion, Deion Sanders is struggling coaching.
We don't know yet.
Well, fuck, it's been 4 years. He hasn't won a major game. So this is what I'm saying. We are still trying to figure out. I don't understand why all you guys out here continue to bring up these examples. I love when you say Steve Kerr. And I love when you say Jason Kidd. They were GMs and coaches prior to being a head coach. Why are you comparing them? He has one comparison, and that is Steve Nash. And it was a fucking disaster. And this is exactly what it is again. This is what it's going to be again, too. And then, by the way, Steve Nash's IQ is through the roof. And guess what? Steve Nash was a far better player. And guess what? Steve Nash actually won MVPs. So if we're going to really compare, Steve Nash's was a no-brainer hire over this guy. And guess what? I would have rather hired Steve Nash, who at least had the experience dealing with a prima donna fucking group already, back again for a second time. But no, we go to a guy that has a resume of this.
Before we move on, let me ask you this. What would JJ Redick need to do this season, to make you flip, to make you be like, damn, all right, he proved me wrong?
Nothing.
Is it championship or bust?
No, because I would never put that on someone like that. Because I'm a coach. I'm a fucking realist. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter how good he is and how I just pointed out a million different reasons why. But the roster's not even fucking close, Smitty. The roster's not even close. What's he supposed to do? Go out there and play? Their roster is not even close.
Agreed.
Oh, let's just be honest. It doesn't matter. That's my point in this thing. So if your roster is not close, now there is a difference, Smitty. If I inherit, the Nuggets. Let's say something happened to coach and and Coach Malone, and he had to take out a year. Remember when Luke Walton stood in for Steve Kerr?
Steve Kerr, he lost one game, I think. Yeah.
Okay, lost. Was he the fucking greatest coach ever? Remember when Luke Walton took a job he never coached before? And this motherfucker was like, holy shit, should Luke Walton be the coach of the year? No. The team is the NBA's best team. It's not close. And those guys move on to Luke Walton was on the sideline like this, Smitty, the whole time. Steph, go in. Clay, come in. Draymond, go over there, play defense, lock down the guy. Steph, you and Clay, you guys go to the perimeter.
What'd you say?
Hey, coach, we're down 3. Hey, Luke, we're down 3. They don't say coach, they call him by first name. Hey, Luke, we're down 3. Give me the fucking ball, Luke. All right, Steph. Hey, just move. Everybody clear out. Get the ball, Steph.
Why, hey, no matter what he say, why his arms crossed just like this the whole time? No matter what he say.
Yeah, everyone, let's go home. That's what the coaching was, homie. That is what the coaching was by Luke Walton. Luke Walton just fucking coached you to a 1-loss record. And by the way, that ain't this roster. This isn't the fucking Lakers roster.
As of right now, though, we might make some moves this offseason.
What moves can you make, to be honest? Give me a show. So LeBron's back. Luke's back. I mean, AD's back. Give me the roster. Break it down. Exactly. There ain't nobody out there, homie.
Donovan Mitchell.
Nobody out there.
Donovan Mitchell. Zach LaVine. I'm just throwing names out there.
Donovan will go back to Cleveland. He got rid of the coach because it's player empowerment. He got rid of the coach already, so you know he's staying there. They're going to give him a big bag.
Paul George,
the most injured playoff player. We want Paul Del Pegue to come. He had his chance to come to Lakers.
He's better than Austin Reeves as the third guy.
Fuck that.
He's better than Austin Reeves as the third guy.
How about we go get younger, homie, and go get some athleticism and shit that we already fucked up by when we let go Brandon Ingram and when we let go of Kuzma and when we let go of Randall and we let go of fucking all these young guys who are now ballers and hoopers. How about we keep some young cats for once? See, there's a problem. These motherfuckers starting over every year, Smitty. They could have already had this roster and been this Golden State type of team where young, athletic.
But we got a ring though, so now it's like, damn. If you get a ring, it makes everything worth it. You know, if we didn't win, I'll be with you. But we got the ring.
All right, Smitty, let's move on. You got the next topic, I think.
Let's please move on, man. You kind of started it off, man, highlighting the Stanley Cup, man. Game 7, man. The Florida Panthers win it all. 2-1, and man, this was an incredible game, man. Shout out to the Oilers, the Edmonton Oilers, for forcing it to a game 7. I told y'all they would come back. I did think that they would finish the job. I was wrong on that one, but to even get to this point, man, was amazing. They just kind of ran out of gas. But shout out to the Florida Panthers, man. Incredible feat. This was one of the biggest games I've seen in the last decade. It's bigger than last year's Super Bowl. It's bigger than the NBA Finals. It's bigger than WWE WrestleMania. This right here was one of the biggest sports events we've seen in a long damn time. And shout out to, man, listen, my guy Ryan Lundberg, the left wing, my guy Sam Reinhart, who's a baller, my guy Matthew Tkachuk, former classmate of Jason Tatum. They both just won a championship in the same damn season, and they were friends and classmates back in the day.
Hey, I'm gonna be real though. Those pictures floating around the internet are zesty.
I didn't see all of them, but they were kids. They were young. Shout out to Alexander Barkov, man, the center. These guys, man, did the damn thing, man. Balled out, had an incredible run, and they put the team on their backs to really finish this thing off. I know earlier you alluded to about my guy McDavid winning the Conn Smythe Trophy. You know, basically the best player throughout the playoffs. And obviously he was on the losing team, so you felt some type of way about it. But let me throw out a few stats here for you, man. He's only the second skater after Reggie Leach of the Philadelphia, I want to say the Flyers back in 76. He was named MVP on the losing team back in 76, but he's only the second skater to do this. All the other winners were all goaltenders who lost the final. I don't want to go through the whole list of names there, but understand that what McDavid is doing and has done in this playoffs has been nothing short of amazing. I mean, the cat had 42 points this playoff, which is the fourth most in a single postseason in NHL history, behind Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux. I mean, this guy is phenomenal. His 11 points in the Stanley Cup final were only 2 points shy, JB. 2 points shy of tying the Stanley Cup final record held by, again, Wayne Gretzky. Anytime you're mentioned in the same breath, the same room as Wayne Gretzky, you're doing something phenomenal. And he was by far the best player in these entire playoffs. And I actually appreciate and respect hockey for getting it right. I wish the NBA would do this more, because there's been so many times. I mean, the first memory that comes to my mind was 2015 when the Warriors first beat the Cleveland Cavaliers after Kevin Love went down, Kyrie Irving went down. LeBron James was by far the best player in that series, by far the best player. But they gave it to Iguodala as the MVP. They said he shut LeBron down after LeBron was averaging damn near 48 and 8. And I'm not a LeBron fan, but you got to call it what it is. That's one of his best overall performances. He got him to 6 games just off his own hooping ability alone. So, but back to this game, man. It was one of the best games I've seen in a long time. I am a fan of hockey. The Florida Panthers deserved it.
Hold on, best game you've seen in a long time? What was the last good game you saw like this?
Trying to think. Give me a second. Last hockey game or last just great sport event?
Hockey, because you watch a lot of hockey.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's tough. I have to really go back, man, because like right now I'm just in such an awe. I'm just such an awe right now, JB, of just how amazing that game. Like, it was high energy from start to finish, fast paced. The crowd was into it from beginning to jump. They both scored early in the first round or whatever, and then it kind of got quiet. You didn't know what was gonna happen. And Florida got that second goal, and man, their defense was just phenomenal. They actually shut down McDavid in his last game, and these guys just ran out of gas, man. They ran out of gas. So, I look at this game. It kind of reminds me of like one of those just them all-timers. I mean, people right now online are comparing them to the 1994 Stanley Cup Game 7. I think it was between the New York Rangers and the Vancouver Canucks. I have to go back and watch that game to kind of really get a feel. The 1980 Olympic miracle on ice. You know what I'm saying? Now we're talking about Olympics now, right? But these right here it's in the same conversation. There's nothing better than a Game 7 on the ice. Nothing better.
Man, you're getting your PK Subans on, man. Good job. I know you've been doing a lot of research on hockey because you love the sport and shit. I look at this picture right here. I see I get like a bad vibe. I get like a jailhouse.
JB, please. I'm not letting you go down this road again.
Well, I'm not going there. I get like a jailhouse. I get a jailhouse, like we're going to jail. You know, he's an orange jumper and they're on a bus. I feel like I'm going to fucking county again. I'm like, damn.
They're on a school bus, JB.
I know. I'm not even going to I'm not even doing the game. I'm not even
real quick. You know, somebody the other day, I was going to a Fox meeting, like virtual. One of my employees asked me, it was like, "Hey Darnell, that's your co-host on that podcast you do?" I was like, "JB," he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, first of all, I watched him on his show that he used to have." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Does he really like believe in all the stuff that he says?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't watch every single episode of The Last Chance U, so I can't remember every single thing that he said." She's like, "No." I mean, like, just in general, like on his podcast. I was like, yeah. I said, yeah. He says what he believes in. I said, hey, she started laughing, and I don't know what she exactly was alluding to. Maybe she's a woman, so I'm like, maybe she's thinking about the women shouldn't coach shit. Comes to the top of her mind. But it is.
She's talking about this show or Netflix? She's talking about this show. She's talking about this or Netflix, though?
Well, first she was talking about Netflix, but then I think she was just talking more in a broader conversation, just in like
white girl. Podcast,
you said what?
She white, sister? What? Nah,
she's actually I don't want to get it messed up. I think she's like not Tongan, she's not white or black, is what I'm saying. She's
what shit? What is she? Gotta be something.
She ain't Hawaiian. She
clear, motherfucker.
She might be Hispanic. She's Hispanic. Best part her last name. I think she's Hispanic.
She look good.
This is my coworker. Shout out to my coworker, man. But yeah, it is funny though. People really be asking.
I'm just saying. I'm asking because I want to know.
People really be asking, like,
hey, I gotta find out.
Be asking, like, JB be on that shit. I'm like, that's him, yo. But I always be like, hey, JB cool though. I said, look, I forget all outside the show. You gonna know me like for real life. I gotta know cool people though.
I gotta know if she's an op or not. Cause I gotta know who my ops are out in these streets. That's why
I ain't no op. She don't live out here.
I'm gonna go holler at her. Maybe
she lives in New York. She lives in New York. She lives in New York.
Puerto Rican? Is she Puerto Rican?
She live in New York.
Is she baby girl, homie? Like you don't know Puerto Rican?
I don't know. Is she Mexican?
See, if Indianapolis cats don't know what Puerto Ricans are, that's
she might. I think she Mexican. I think she Mexican because her last name. I'll tell you her last name offline. I'm not gonna say it now.
Black people said brothers always pronounce Tongan. Tongan.
Well, understand. In like Indiana, we don't have Hawaiians, we don't have Tongans, we don't have
you don't have nothing. You don't have
we don't have island. Indiana's black, white, and some Mexicans.
Yeah, you don't have no real hoods. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
Stop, man. I'll drop you off on post roll right now. You wouldn't know what to do. Your scary ass. You
don't have no real hoods. I mean, you have fucking.
Your scary ass. You ain't been back to your hood in fucking forever.
I just was there. You have meth labs.
You wasn't there. That's Muncie. That's how I know you don't know what you're talking about. That's like Muncie. That's Muncie, Indiana. That's not Indianapolis.
Yeah, meth labs. You think's in the hood.
Muncie.
And then you have like country brothers. That's it. That's your hood.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like you're talking about Indiana as a full state. There's different pockets. I'm from the city, my guy. Homie. I'm trying to educate you. I'm from the ghetto. I'm from the projects. I'm from the hood. I'm talking about Meadowlark Drive. I'm talking about Pinnacle Square. I'm talking about you don't know what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about
not the hood, though.
21st and Menhofer, 42nd and Post. I'm talking about real 16th and Post Roads, like 21st and Arlington. You don't know what I'm talking about right now. Like that's why you looking like that. You look nervous.
I know.
I'm talking about School 102, School 105, Head Start. Like I'm really from that.
That's not really the hood though.
You were not like me. Like listen, my defense is impregnable. My offense is sensational. I want to hunt you. I want to eat your kids. I want to eat your children. Post Road, Naptown, Far East Side is where I was raised. I'm gritty. I'm a dog. I'm nasty. I want to hunt. I want to kill. I want to destroy. Praise be to Allah. That's what it is. Like I'm just a different breed. I'm a different animal. You can't even like understand what I'm saying right now. Like why should I'm speaking Spanish to you right now?
I know you are. Because by the way, every major city and every city has some sort of ghetto, hood, inner city. But just be clear, a lot of them are jokes. There's a huge difference. Not. There's a big difference. I'm just telling you. Don't say that, go travel the world and tell me that there's not a difference in certain places, hoods that y'all call hoods.
All of our hoods ain't shit compared to the foreign hoods. I'll tell you that much. All the little hoods we say, I'm from the Nicholson, I'm from Post. You go leave the country. Go leave the country and go look at their hoods.
Those ain't hoods. That's their country.
Exactly.
That is what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. By the way,
last time you been to the Nickerson Guards, and don't lie. Don't lie.
I was just at the Nickersons for my boy's funeral. What are you talking about?
That don't count. That's a funeral. That don't count.
No. The funeral wasn't in the Nickersons. We went to the Nickersons after the funeral. What are you talking about? You know how black folks is. Let's dive into the show
at the Nickerson, and you know.
Hey, the producer's been telling you to move on for a while. You haven't listened to nothing.
Shout out to the producer, man. Hey, producer, what we got next? Just put it on the screen. I trust you.
I got a rant. So bring in my music. Bring in my music.
Where's your music at?
Speaking of your hood,
without a doubt,
it's Compton in the house.
Without a doubt,
it's Compton in the house.
Without a doubt.
I got a daily rant, Smitty, and I had to start it with a banger because I'm tired of this shit that's happening. And I'm going to tell you what's happening right now. The Hawk Tua girl who has become the most talked about person on the internet over saying Hawk Tua, spit on that thing, was fired from her teaching job where she taught elementary school kids. Smitty, who apparently loved her to death and said she was their favorite teacher on campus. How ironic. That's funny how my players said the same about me, but they sure did want to get me out of there contrary to all the fucking dick riders' beliefs. Here's the thing. This is another example of the cancel culture vultures waving their sick and twisted wands in what used to be a free country with freedom of speech. that allowed people to do what they wanted, say what they wanted, and live their own lives away from their jobs. Having professionalism at the workplace is one thing, Smitty. Trust me, I get it. But to do something off the clock and be fired for it is unacceptable and should not be allowed in this country. The land of the free and the home of the brave. We all do shit off the clock. And why, Smitty, have we seen so many preachers, priests, presidents, administrators do ungodly acts of crime, perform pedophilia and trafficking of humans, keep their fucking jobs? Yet this girl having fun on a camera where someone just simply caught her out of pure coincidence and made her famous by a video that went to 30 seconds long, gets fired for being a young 23-year-old girl living her own private life, living her best life. Such a shame if we've become, Smitty, where others dictate your income, your livelihood, and how you move in life. I would sue the district, everyone involved, if I was her. She won't need it anyway, though. Smitty, you know how this thing moves. She will market this and make more money than she could ever imagine as a teacher. Unfortunately, those kids, those babies who liked her and loved her to death as a teacher will always and forever miss her. And now you wonder why we have a very, very sad problem in society. Because the teachers that are actually the ones getting through to their students, athletes, and kids are the ones that we're trying to exile and cancel because we cuss, because we have fun and do actual things that humans actually do. It's funny how that has made society as soft as it fucking has. But anyway, let's move on. Let's take a 5-minute break. I'll be back in 4 before Smitty, of course. And I'm going to get me a coffee refill. And we got a lot going on here. And then we'll get your take on the Haktua situation when we get back. Love to hear some of your guys' takes. See you in 4. Peace. Here, this is the infamous one of the palm trees at Ash 8.
Can't fucking believe you. See this fucking belt? You see this? Who just eats a whole fucking palm tree, man? You guys are fucking shitting. Just fucking unearthed the motherfucker. Ate the whole fucking thing. Like, who eats a whole fucking palm tree? Like, you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? Now, let's shake now. Who did it? I'm gonna look at the fucking camera. Who fucking did it? Sit down.
Sit down. Sit. Sit down. Now, do we understand each other? Excuse me. There is no more fucking up palm trees. I'm tired of spending all this money, and now I've created a whole fucking barricade for you. So I don't want to have to dig this bitch out. I'm fucking dead. I'm old, my back hurts, I'm fucking stiff as a porn dick. Come here, sit down. Sit down. Boy, if you don't sit your ass down. Now, you come over here with me. Come on. Here's what I had to do to fucking stop you. And I got a better, beautiful, bigger tree. So now we are shitting in tall grass. Replanted it, bitch. Soiled it up. Put a little trellis in here. Put a bunch of fucking stones. Look like Stonehenge around this bitch. And now, Ash, are you gonna fucking try to dig this bitch out? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do this again?
So I had to Ash, remember this? Remember you ate this? Did you do this? He ate once. I put this little moat around it. And just a sitting area. Come over here. We got the plastic basketball court and driving range. So if I ever want to pull out the big dog, that's our net. All we do is just slap down our driving range, you know. Bam, swing away. And that's where we swing into the net. Jimmy crack corn on this hoop. And
Here's my RV parking where I park the whips. Let's take you out and show you a few. Out these double gates, I'll show you a few cars. Come on out. So right here, of course, is the bad boy. The last year they made this Cadillac EXT, one of a kind. Can't find these anywhere. And then you come out here, you got the 650i, BMW, ragtop, 500 to the rear, white interior. You know, you can't beat it. This is my baby though, my truck. Full sound, custom sound system in both. Top notch, only as I do. And obviously, this is my crib. Oops. All right, that's JB's Cribs. Appreciate you jumping by, coming by. Listen, it's time to go. Now take your asses and get the hell out of here. I'm about to go cook some slapstick tri-tip. It's been a pleasure. Now go home. Peace. Get to look down on the property. That'll do it. Real Coach JB's Cribs. Peace.
We back. That was a hell of a rant you had, JB.
I had a crazy dream last night.
What was it?
That during the show was on right now. And I walked in this my spare room on a break, and there was a motherfucker in there.
Doing what?
Sleep in my bed, squatting. So I took the phone live because we were on the show. It was a commercial, but I took the phone in there live on the show.
Yep.
And I pulled out one of them things on him and banged on him, and then Bailey was like, "No, don't do nothing. We're on live." And I had a dream. Like I never have dreams. So if that happens, it's a premonition. It's called a premonition.
Did you finish the job, or did the person leave out the house?
I woke up.
Ooh. So hopefully you go to sleep tonight and like you'll finish the dream and we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, maybe.
JB's dream continues. That'd be a cool little thing for the rest of the week. I want to know. I'm invested now. I want to know what's going to happen next. But anyway, that was a hell of a rant you had to end the first hour of the show. Hawk Tour.
Oh yeah, what's going on with that? What's going on with that? So this girl having fun, living her best life, 23-year-old. Look at her. You can tell it through her smile. She's genuine.
Yeah.
And what she does in her personal life, who gives a fuck? Those kids love her. Everybody love her. And this thing has become viral. She has merch now. I've seen motherfuckers getting tattoos of her shit. I've seen there's a city that put her name out on the thing, on like Welcome to Haktua, where she's from. Like this shit crazy. She's the most talked about person on planet Earth, and they fired her. And by the way, they fired her when we have a fucking serious issue in classrooms and teachers. And I'm just like, come on, man. This shit's crazy to me. I don't understand. We're so high and mighty, Smitty. We'll fire her for saying Haktua, but we'll teach a kid lie after lie about history. We'll teach a kid about fucking transitioning their human body from one to another gender. We're okay with all that. We're okay with fucking teachers coming in school, look as a fucking made up human, We're okay with all this, but we'll fire somebody over their job. That shit makes no sense to me.
Well, my cousin said, JB, she didn't get fired. Article was fake. I hope it was fake. I hope that is true, Keith Smith, because if she did get fired, I don't think she should have gotten fired because of this.
Well, I saw Outkick said that she did get fired.
I hope she didn't get fired because of this. But if she did, though, it's tough because you're right. We all do shit outside of work that would be inappropriate for the workplace. But again, we're not at work. I'm living my life as a 23-year-old. I can do what I want. But at the same time, though, you do got to be smart. There's certain things that I know I do in my lifestyle that I'm not going to have on camera. There's certain things I say that if I'm talking to the homies privately that I know better to make sure ain't no phones on and not recorded. There's certain things that I'm not going to say on this show because it just got to be smart because I could get fired if I say some shit that's a little too one way or another. So my thing is this, you're a teacher. You're a teacher at the end of the day. You teach young men and women, and you have parents who you got to talk to. Because she teaches, I think, like first graders, I think, like young kids. So you got parents you deal with on a daily, and you going out here and you're joking. Again, it's fun, it's funny, I get it. But it's a sexual joke that's now viral, and now you're being sexualized online, right or wrong, whatever. It's what's happening. These parents are probably seeing it and they're thinking like, damn, like this the girl teaching my kids at my school. Parents are probably putting pressure on the principal and everybody in the front. So I think that's what led to it. Again, not saying it's right. I don't think she should have been fired. At all. But at the same time, though, she has to be smart. You're a teacher. You can't be putting certain shit out there. Like there's certain stuff that like I'm trying to think back. Like, I ain't never had no teacher in like high school or something like that I could think of that publicly did something that, you know, that would get them fired. Now we can all assume and know based upon their personalities what they were doing behind the scenes and behind closed doors and their stories and all that stuff. But like, if you're a teacher, it's just a different, not different standard, but just different responsibility of like, you just can't do this shit on camera. She knew she was on camera. The camera's right here by her. Like she knew she was being funny on purpose on the camera. So it just was like not a smart decision is all I'm saying.
Smitty, stop. Miss me with the high and mighty bullshit. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit take. So they mama sucks dick every night next to their own kid in their bedroom, and no one's tripping. It's okay.
Nobody know.
I can push.
Nobody know. What's the point?
I know my teacher's pushing LGBTQ shit on my kids at school though, and that's okay though. The high and mighty shit's over with, homie. The high and mighty bullshit. I can't live my life in public because there's a camera on me is over with. Because these teachers have been caught multiple times doing scandalous shit. I've had 3 teachers in high school when I went to school caught sucking dicks, and they kept their job on campus with a kid.
No way.
Bullshit. Go ask I'll call any of my homies right now. They'll tell you straight out. And I know guy teachers who was fucking girls on campus, students, and kept their jobs. The high and mighty bullshit is so
for clarity, you're telling me that the higher ups knew about it and they let them keep their job.
Yeah, they got caught by kids.
That must be some Compton shit then.
They opened the classroom door. What do you mean? It happens all over, Smitty. Don't act like it's just my school.
No.
Everywhere.
Not keeping your job though. Not keeping the job.
America. Yes, it does.
Of course,
Smitty.
it happens. I know teachers. I know some teachers at my high school that you know what I mean, that got down a little bit, but like not. There wasn't proof, is what I'm saying. It wasn't on video. It wasn't anything that was verified.
My point is the high and mighty road is over. It's dead and it's buried. We're so hypocritical with what we pick and choose to fire someone over what we think is morally incorrect or correct. It's all bullshit. The bottom line is it doesn't matter if it was streamed or not. If your boss knows, then there's a morale issue. Your boss knew that you got caught fucking a kid and you didn't get fired. Only fired the person that was caught off guard on her vacation saying Hawk Tua fucking around. Just for instance, I don't even know if she was fired. We don't care. But there's fireable incidences like this that Smitty's discussing all over the place. We see people get fired all the time for dumb shit like this. And then I see people that don't get fired for pushing narratives that I don't want my kids to have pushed on them. But we don't fire those people. I'm just tired of the soft takes about what we can't do versus what we can do and how people get fired and don't get fired. And it's all equals out at the end of the day, Smitty. It's all the same shit, Smitty, because we pick and choose what we fire folks for, and it's all bullshit. Keep it 100. Let's keep it real. Let's keep a consistent fucking deal here. Go ahead.
I have a question, JB. You're a coach, and you coach college kids. And I know I was a player. I had coaches, and I went to college. And I know during camp, we would have different people, different speakers come in there and talk to us about different things. It might be, stuff about, SA or stuff about just how to treat people on camp. It just various different topics. One of those topics that our head coach and speakers as well will come talk to us every camp about was social media and how to utilize that and what to stay away from, because how that can affect you in your future profession and your future jobs. I would like to assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, that at some part during your camp or during your teaching, because you're a great teacher, I know you would never miss a beat, that you talk to your players about being smart on social media and leaving certain things off. Is that correct? Is that safe to say?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So there's a reason why a coach would teach their players to do that, because you understand that it does affect your job. It does affect your profession. It does affect how people view you in any profession, let alone a teacher job in which you are a leader amongst kids. It doesn't mean you're perfect. Don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna be real. As a kid growing up, I would look at my teachers as almost like just like as an authoritative figure, like as a somebody, like I respected my teacher. It was somebody who I just didn't assume when I was younger. I didn't assume that they would even be talking about certain stuff. Obviously, as I got older, you just more life, you understand. But my point being is, teachers were held to a different standard of respect, right? So again, it's not about saying this girl's a bad girl. No, I think she's probably incredible, smart, good job, funny. Trust me, I've said stuff way more inappropriate than this to this day, but especially when I was 23. I'm going to keep it all the way funky. In college, people know I said all types because I'm just a funny guy. I say all types of crazy shit. So I'm not judging her on that. What I'm saying is, it's not like you got surprised on camera. The camera's right here. You know you're on camera. You made a conscious decision to say some inappropriate, funny stuff on camera, knowing that you're a teacher. Now, she didn't know she was going to go viral, but you're on camera. Anything can happen. You're on camera. These videos like this go viral all the time. These little street confessions and little videos, they go on the street, ask these women all these random questions. These things go viral all the time. So you just have to be smarter, knowing your profession, knowing what you do, and understanding that whether it's right or wrong or indifferent, no matter how you feel about it, it's the reality. Don't put yourself in position. Don't go to that party, JB. Not because you're going to be out there doing stuff, because you don't know what's there. That's all I'm saying. Be smarter. It's not a conversation of right or wrong. It's a conversation of what's reality and knowing how to protect yourself at all times.
Right. So the girl that teaches that's an IG model that has her tits and ass out, she's okay though.
Who you talking about? Like
all of them, homie, all of them.
Very specific.
There's thousands, Smitty.
Like you just throw out random shit. Like
Smitty, it's not random. There's thousands of teachers out here on OnlyFans. What do you mean? Google it. It's not hard.
I've seen teachers who have been fired because of that.
This is not a fallacy. No,
I've seen a lot of teachers get fired because of that, JB.
That's my whole point of a hypocrisy. There's a lot that haven't. You're picking and choosing what you want to be fired for because you're on camera versus what you're not.
There's so many factors. That goes. Every state different. Every school is different. Every city's different. We're all not the same. There's certain shit in California that people get in trouble for, and shit in Indiana. And during the pandemic, people in Indiana didn't have no fucking masks on. They was walking around freely outside. People in Florida walking around freely outside. In California, we were shut down. My point being is, every state's gonna have their own legislation, their different rules, different people. It's different. We're not gonna all be on the same page. So just because they allow some shit over here, don't mean they gonna allow shit over here. You have to use common sense.
But our government, which is all 50 states, is okay with this.
What the hell does this come from? Bradley pulled this shit out of his ass. The Biden White House has hired Tyler Cherry as a new social communications director. He was previously called for ICE to be abolished compared to police and slave patrols and lynch mobs opposed to pro-Palestinian city comments.
Yeah. This is a government.
No, don't allow. But
this is a government.
But who's gonna fire these guys?
Nah, don't.
It's a power. No, I know. It's a power.
Don't change it now.
I ain't changing shit. It's about power.
My point at the end of the day is the hypocrisy of it. You're
Sure.
defending hypocrisy. That's
But
my
that's what
point.
this world is. That's
Our
the reality,
federal
though.
government is posting this shit to children, but okay, if you say Hawk Tua, you should be fired. Come on, man. Fucking pick a side. This is a fucking hypocrisy at an all-time clip.
It's always been hypocrisy.
We got
The
a
higher ups always
government.
got away with whatever they wanted to do, JB. Why you acting like this is some new shit?
Smitty.
If you got power, you
They-
get away
they
with
stand
shit
on
all the
business.
time. That's what it's
They
been.
stand on business. Stand on business and say, you know what? We got all this weird-ass shit going on they're not being fired for. There's fucking people getting DUIs and shit, not getting fired after killing people that are teachers. And yet we're okay with accepting the fact that you should walk on eggshells and not say Hawk Tua on camera. Like, get the fuck out of here. Which one is it? Is it the extreme or is it the extreme the other way? Because definitely it ain't gray. It ain't down the middle. It's fucking pick and choose what you do like and what you stand for.
It depends
That's what
who
we
you
fire
are.
folks for.
It
Period.
depends,
That's what we
it
fire.
depends who you are.
And-
It's all about power and leverage.
and
There's
it
certain,
does.
there's
It's the
certain
same thing.
things I can't say that a certain person at Fox could say, and they would be okay, and I
get-
wouldn't be
get all
okay.
that.
And that's
I
the
get
way
all
it
that.
is, JB. That's
I
life.
get all that. That's why
That's
I
life.
don't. That's why I work for myself. But here's the difference. We all
Kudos
have
to you,
choices.
JB. We all can't
No,
do that.
I get it. Here's the difference though. Just like you just name people. Like this dude Dorian. He's obviously, this motherfucker made a comment in the chat that said, JB, stop. We've been talking about LGBTQ since I was in school. And he said 2011. No shit. That's when y'all turn weirdo fucks, you idiot. This is when y'all turn fucking zesty in 2011 because y'all were getting taught it.
Thank you, Austin Sherlock. Thank you, Austin Sherlock. Smitty talking facts, as I always do. Smitty says so.
Motherfucker
He
said
said,
2011.
do
By the
what
way-
your rank can handle.
By the way,
Thank you.
by the
Thank
way-
you, Austin.
Yeah, exactly, Austin. I'll talk on that in a second. But by the way, Dorian's the same dude that will stab his homie in the back and comment on his tweet and talk shit. That's the difference. That's y'all generation. That's that 2011 shit. And by the way, pull that back up from Hawks Tua. Who was that? No. The guy that just commented, Smitty just talked about.
It's long gone now. I gotta go find it.
Anyway, what did he say? Is your rank can handle?
He said, do what your rank can handle.
Oh, yeah. Well, when you say that, that means you're some sort of military when you use the word rank, by the way. And well, ask him if I'm lying. Is he military or not?
Are you military, Austin?
What do
He
you mean? You
probably
don't use rank in general speaking. You don't use rank unless you're a fucking ex-military, unless you're full of shit. Then you don't use rank. I just got a whole
phrase, though. It
ain't a phrase. It ain't a phrase.
Like,
It ain't a phrase. Then you would say job. You would say title.
In football, we compare shit to
You're
military all the
contradicting
time.
yourself on the
all
show,
the time
homie.
we do.
Hold on, you're contradicting yourself on this very show right now.
No,
You
no,
don't
I'm
say
not going to
rank.
let you get away with it. You're not about to change the whole conversation.
Smitty,
The point,
you say title.
fuck rank, fuck all that. The
Smitty,
point
you
being
say
is
title.
do what your power can handle. I don't care what word you use. Don't get
Just say
confused.
title. Just say title.
Okay, cool. Don't
right.
miss the point. Don't miss the point
say,
of a
don't
word.
say rank though. When you
Okay,
say rank,
okay, I get it.
But Smitty, you're changing the point of I'm making. I'm saying I'm addressing this guy, not you, who said rank.
But you're missing his point, is what I'm saying.
No, I'm
because
not.
you're so
No, I'm not.
hard on
Because
one
I haven't
word.
made my point yet. My point is this, because you haven't even heard my point.
Gene, I won't stop, Gene. I won't stop, Gene. I'm
Okay,
gonna keep going,
Smitty,
Gene.
Okay, we're talking
Gene.
about rank. We're talking about rank, Smitty. Oh, you mean the ranked officials that have been caught on camera sucking dildos in a barrack? You mean that rank? Y'all fucking can't fuck with me, man. You need to stop. You're fucking never going to beat me in an argument, rank opponent over there. You're not going to do it because y'all fucking ranks are sucking dildos in barracks in the army. And you're going to talk about what your rank can handle? So guess what? I don't remember that guy getting fired for sucking a goddamn dildo. But that's appropriate, right? On the rank.
So what's your point, JB? Are you saying nobody should get fired for anything they do outside of work?
Or fire everybody for everything. You get my point? I don't understand why it's so hard. Like, why are we picking and choosing what the fuck we're picking and choosing?
That's just not reality, Jason Brown.
Then don't cancel somebody for
If
living
you are
their
the
life.
CEO of your company, who's gonna fire you, CEO? That don't make
Smitty,
sense.
Smitty, you act
If
like I've
you're the
never
CEO
worked.
and you're caught on tape, who's gonna fire you?
Smitty, you act like I've never worked for the man. What are we
Okay,
talking
well,
about?
well, you
So
talk
what are you
like
talking
you
about?
haven't. There's
So
power.
there's a thing called professional etiquette in the workplace that you sign contracts for that are called detrimental to your job, right? You sign these type of things. That's what a teacher did. That pertains to on-campus behavior. You can't fire me for dipping on Venice Beach, walking down on a Sunday, homie, and I got a dip in my mouth, but tobacco's not allowed on a high school campus. Go ahead and good luck with that. This is what, in essence, we are doing. We are firing somebody for something they're doing off hours, off the clock.
So if a teacher was on video snorting cocaine, then that's okay?
Like Biden, son? Yeah, he got fired.
Yeah, I'm asking you, okay. Is that okay?
No.
You know what you do?
Hold on, Smitty. Hold on, though.
When you're about to lose an argument or lose a debate, you tie it to some other shit that has nothing to do with what we're talking about in order to confuse your fans, to make them feel like, yeah, JB, you got it right. I'm not talking about Biden's son. I asked you a direct question.
Hold on,
if a teacher's on tape snorting fucking or shooting up fucking cocaine up their arm outside of school hours and it's on tape, you saying they should be fined?
They should be fired.
They should be fired. Why?
Because cocaine's an illegal drug. Sucking dick's not.
Okay, so she was sucking dick on tape.
It's not illegal.
Teacher.
It's not illegal.
Okay,
y'all pick and choose, homie. Y'all pick and choose. Hold on, though. So Sean Payton could fucking smoke a bong with 15-year-olds and keep his New Orleans Saints job? Make it make sense, homie. I dropped the mic. Get the fuck out of here.
He got let go.
Y'all defended that shit. Y'all defended that shit. It was in Colorado. Hey, you see what I'm saying? The point I'm making is it's hypocrisy all over the place. And we're defending it on one side and canceling it on the other. How about let's just keep it funky? How about we keep it real? Sean Payton's fucking hitting the ball with 15-year-olds. To me, that's immoral. But there's no fire clause on it. Guess what? She did. She did something that you may consider immoral. But guess what? It's not a fireable offense. Guess what? Sucking dick, whether you got caught on tape or not, is not illegal. Snorting
I agree
cocaine,
with you on that. She should not be fired. But my main point, my only point is don't put yourself in position to where they can control your life. Don't put yourself in position where you can be fired. Don't put yourself in that situation. Don't put yourself in position to mess up. For anything, why would you be on camera? Camera's right here, and you know you're a teacher. You know this is a camera, and you know what you're saying. Like, don't put yourself in that position. It's not about what she said. It's about having the common sense to know that I'm not putting myself in that position. That's all I'm saying. You would tell your players the same thing I'm saying, JB.
It doesn't matter. Don't force me to live a life that's fake. Why should I have to worry about what you filming me on? I didn't.
So why did you tell your players to watch what they put on social media? Why did you tell them that?
Because they're my players. My job is to mentor and teach them.
But why are you teaching them that specifically?
Because that's what I want them to do and grow up to be. What do you mean? That doesn't mean I do. Don't do as I do. I say do as I say, homie.
So you're admitting that. So hold on. No. So you're admitting right now that you're teaching your players what they should do. So when you say
I'm telling
the key word "should" is very important. So you're admitting that what I'm saying is actually right. You're admitting that I'm saying that you should not put yourself in position where you could be on camera and potentially be fired, harmed, whatever the case may be. You're admitting that. There's a reason. It's common sense is what I'm trying to say.
And there's a reason why. And there's a reason why there's a huge generational gap and why we have a huge issue in society as far as how fucking soft and hypocritical we've become. Because it's a clear evident on your take that you think as a kid you are on the fucking same level as the adult in the room. And that is the clear-cut problem in society. You think you could do what the adult does when the adult told you to do something else. The adult told the kid not to smoke a cigarette. And you think because the adult did it in the street, you can smoke a cigarette. No, it's not.
That, Jason?
Yes, you are saying it. You just don't know it. You're just sitting there telling me that because I did it, you should be able to do it. And what I told you to do doesn't hold any water. I'm telling you, Smitty, as a youngster, Smitty, don't do this. This is not how you're going to succeed in life.
And I'm asking you why. I'm not saying yes, no.
Hold on. And then you saw me in public, and I was doing what I just told you not to do. So fucking what? I earned that seat, Smitty. I earned the right to go fucking smoke my cigarette. That's the difference. Y'all don't think, you don't know. You think you're automatically on our same level at 15 years old because you've never been taught so. And you never had your fucking ass beat as a parent. And your kids are out here doing this stupid ass shit. And y'all think you're equals, homie. That's the difference. Y'all are telling me that a grown person telling you what not to do, you have the right to do that. Like, I'm just telling you. It is the point. You just don't get it.
D. Jones, thank you so much. I never once said I was on the same level as an adult. What I'm saying is, my point is, you as a leader, a leader amongst young men, you taught your players something. I don't care what you did. I'm saying there was a reason. Everything you did as a coach and a leader had a reason behind it. There was a reason why you told your kids to watch what they put on social media. There was a reason behind that. Because you had the knowledge and the common sense to understand that what they put on social media could be used against them in the future when they're trying to get jobs. You know that. So the exact same thing is the same message is where it's at today. If I'm a 23-year-old teacher teaching first grade students, I have to have enough common sense to know I cannot be on camera talking about giving head. Period. Whether it's illegal, legal, whatever, right, wrong, indifferent, I have to understand I am a teacher. What I put on social media could affect my job. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's not the conversation. The conversation is not about if it should happen or it shouldn't happen. That's what it is, JB. And you got to have enough common sense and brains and smarts to not put yourself in that position. Period. Conversation closed. Nothing else to talk about. Coming up, man, we got our special guest, man.
Trying to prove a point that's not
Tuesday.
You lost, clearly. It's
Tuesday special guest, man. The phenomenal Korean Kosel, the knower of all things, the one and only Steve Kim is here. What's going on, Steve?
Morning, fellas.
What is it's getting rocky toppy. It's getting white.
Yeah, it's coming in. It's gonna take another couple weeks to get a little longer, but it's working. The process is in play.
No question. Hey, we got a lot going on here, but I don't know if you saw it. At first, I just wanted to ask you, not even on the script here, what happened? What was the deal with Ryan gambling with Jimmy Butler and all this shit? What was the deal? I didn't see it.
Well, that's what he does. He goes to Hustler Casino a lot. A fine sponsor of the 3 knockdown rule. He's there often, and they had a celebrity poker tournament, and he's out there. And Jimmy Butler looked like he had enough of that kid. He probably wanted to change seats with Chris Eubank or Dan Blazarian. God, there's a reason why I call him Cringe Rye. I mean, geez.
So wait, so what's going on? So Jimmy Butler.
Look at Jimmy.
He was
Jimmy actually won a good amount of money, by the way. He must be pretty good.
Yeah, it was him and what's the soccer player?
Neymar.
Yeah, I think they were going at it. And Jimmy won.
Where was this at, Steve?
Commerce Casino.
Oh, damn, they went to Commerce big time, huh? I thought
they actually get some people there. They actually get a pretty good amount of celebrities, major league athletes, world-class poker players. We had an appearance, me and Mario, there for the Usyk Fury fight. Had a pretty good turnout. We'll be doing another one soon. But, Ryan Garcia goes in there a lot. My understanding is he used to go in there with a ski mask.
I heard.
So that nobody would notice him. But I think they kind of took that off the table. Like, hey, you have to kind of you can't do that. But he likes to gamble. I don't know if he's exactly Phil Ivey, but that's what he does.
Hey, you mean like how the left has taken masks away now all of a sudden because we can't have masks in the subways in New York because all the fucking crime? That's how ironic that worked out, huh?
Yeah, well, I guess they must have stopped the spread. I mean, you just got to trust the science, I guess. But... yeah, that's what Ryan does, and then he did some stand-up comedy, which wasn't really all that funny.
I was going to ask you that next. He forgot his jokes and just started ghost boxing, just swinging in the air. What's he going through right now? Are you he's so confused. I don't know if it's mental health or he's just playing around. I don't know. He's tricking me.
Yeah, he's a regular Chris Rock there. I don't know what to really think. He's got a year to basically kind of keep himself occupied, and whatever he does, he does. He's an adult. It's his life. And so, it is what it is. I care about fighters who fight.
Yeah, I know that. Hey, Smitty, before we get started, Steve, yesterday, Shaun King and Smitty had a good little back and forth. And I wanted to just get your take. And not all of them are not, of course, but I talked about the most influential or best or important rule changes that have been implemented across all sports, not just any particular, all sports. And I ranked them. Smitty ranked his. And then I talked about the worst implementation of rule. I thought the pitch clock is the worst rule ever put in for any sport. I have the Smitty had the hip tackle, the hip drop tackle we're about to implement. I added the XFL kickoff. We talked about a lot of different rules. Do you have a rule that sticks out to you that was implemented that we just can't stand? I got targeting in there. Smitty has the transfer portal. I got BCS playoffs being eliminated and moved. March Madness from 64 to 68. I thought was a stupid rule implementation. Major League Baseball drug testing I had as number 2 worst rule. Hey, Steve, I want to see Sammy Sosa and Marcus and those guys battle again. I want to see the long ball.
What's a rule I don't like?
Good question, huh? Good little topic we had yesterday. Targeting. You don't like targeting.
I don't like targeting. I think football, they're taking the essence of football out of it.
That's what Shaun said.
What else don't I like? The pitch clock in baseball, I don't mind. I don't think a 9-inning baseball game needs to be 4 hours.
You don't like the hip You don't like the hip tackle.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. Football's football. Everyone knows what they're going into. Such as in boxing, I don't like it when they start doing these medical checkups after a guy gets hurt. It's boxing. You get a minute's rest. I think you actually prolong beatings when you give like these unnatural breaks.
I hated Steve. I hated taking out the wedge breaker and kickoff. I thought that just eliminated the nuts and guts of the game. When we did that, it was downhill from there. I'm gonna stand on that. But I don't know. Now we're doing some fucking weird kickoff return now because we happen to combat the taking out the wedge breaker 15 years ago. So it's like it seems like we're robbing Peter to pay Paul here.
Yeah, that one. Again, football's probably been more impacted by rules that have, I would say, at least for the purist or a certain generation, taken some of the essence of the game. Look, football is a collision sport. It's like boxing or any combat sport. They know what they're getting into. They really do. And there's no one being forced into this. No one's drafted into this. So that's why, like, when fighters say, I do this for entertainment of you. No, you don't. You do it to make a living.
Steve, where would you put
entertaining?
Where would you put the Pro Bowl going to flag and the NBA All-Star game? Because both of those are tragic. They're tragic.
Well, I don't watch those anymore.
Me either. Yeah.
But it is what it is. There was no stopping it. You give them an inch, they'll take 100 yards.
Smitty.
That's true. Well, moving on, man, to some Colorado news. We saw Coach Dion, as JB calls on, had a sit down with Joe Klatt recently and got a little candid about his plans for the future. I don't know. Do we have a video clip here? Yeah, just check it out.
To hear from you. What's your vision long term as a coach and maybe for Colorado football after Shedeur, Shiloh, and Travis?
Okay, let me start by saying I'm a leader of men, not a follower of men. I'm a father, not a baby daddy. I lead my sons. I don't follow my sons. My sons, Travis included, are getting ready to migrate to the NFL. I'm not following them to the NFL. I'm a bona fide leader. I'm a daddy, man, not a baby daddy. I'm a real father. I paved the way for my babies. They're not paving the way for me. I plan on being here and being dominant because they are establishing something that we're going to continue to build on for years to come. And I'm thankful that they're establishing what they're establishing.
There it is right there. I know there's been a lot of talks, JB, we've had on this show. If will Dion be here after his kids, go to the league and move on? And this is the first time, at least I'm hearing him actually speak out and say that he plans on being here. What's your reaction to that, Steve?
Yeah, I think he has to say it. But look, if you're going to recruit at a certain level, one of the ways you can get negatively recruited against is by having an uncertain future. And I've said it. I'd actually like to see Dion kind of play this out for 6, 7, 8 years and try to build this thing and see if he can really sustain something post Shedeur and Travis Hunter. Now, if you're going to be in play for some of the blue chippers, you have to let these kids know, like, hey, I'm going to be in your life for the next 3 to 5 years. And, look, he needs to build something here. He had a relatively short run at Jackson State. If he just ups and leaves Colorado after 2 or 3 years, I would be very wary of being the next employer of his. Really, I would be, because I'd be like, well, how long are you going to stay? Are you going to be my coach, or are you going to be a carpetbagger? Nobody wants to hire a coach where the guy says, man, I can't wait to be here for the next 2-3 years. That to me is like, you're off my list. So I'd actually like to see him stick around a while, build the program in his vision, and let's see where it goes.
And I agree. I want to see him be a great leader of men. So far, I don't know if that's the case, because I don't know if you can let a lot of men leave your watch to only attain and then regain new men every single quarter. I want to see him actually create a culture, create a group of grown men that understand running for the fucking hills is not the easiest way out, and it's not always going to work in life. I want to see that father. Like he just said, I'm a father, not a baby daddy. But to be real, I think he's a good dad. But I think he did some baby daddy shit with this whole Shiloh and this bankruptcy thing.
Yeah.
So like, let's not talk out one side like you say about me, everybody in this chat. He did some baby daddy shit, but he just said he's not a baby daddy. We all do baby daddy shit, Smitty. I've done it. You're not a dad yet, but you've done baby daddy shit. Regardless if you don't know, if you're not, you don't have to be a father yet to do baby daddy shit. Let's be real. So I think that he's got to stick to his guns. And Joe Klatt, I like Joe Klatt, but Joel was really, really soft in that interview.
Well, look, Joel's a Colorado guy. I get it. And I think Joe Klatt in his own mind is thinking, Dion, don't leave here. I stood up for you. I vouched for you. And quite frankly, I don't think we can get another high-profile coach following you. Here's the thing with Dion. Again, he inherited a one-win team. It's not like he had a roster with Eric Bieniemy and J.J. Flanagan and Chad Brown and Alfred Williams and Dion Figures. Coach, he had to gut the roster. And if there is something in place where you can expedite the process and you don't have to do it over 5 years of recruiting and going through the traditional JUCO route, I'm actually not that critical of him. Now, here's the thing. If he's in his 4th and 5th year at that institution and it's still this mass transfer every year, now you have a problem, because that's a vacuum you're going to create. Like even with Mario Cristobal, I'm going to say it, Mario, if by year 5 you're still bringing in 20 players a year, I'm actually going to question your evaluation skills, because I still believe, and again, we're going to have to do this, Smitty, and I'm not going to do it because quite frankly, I'm lazy. But what I would like to do over the next 3-4 years, get every playoff team in this 12-team playoff, actually go through their roster and actually do a percentage, a study. What percentage of this roster is homegrown? The kids that we signed out of 12th grade, national letter of intent. How many kids are JUCO kids? And then how many kids are actually transfer kids? In my view, you look at Michigan last year, they might be the last homegrown national championship squad. Because I think about 85 to 90% of those kids were all signed by Michigan coming out of 12th grade. But I want to see what is going to be like that ratio of how many kids do you have to have that are signed with you coming out of high school. Is it 50-50? Then if it's 50-50, then everyone's going to do it. Look, Georgia, I think, is a pretty good program, right? Yeah. Coach, they had about 20 guys leave. So
Alabama had 34.
Right. So they had a coaching change. So that's a little bit different. But or maybe teams are going to do it like Ohio State. I look at Ohio State, that's a loaded roster. If Will Howard can give them above average quarterback play, I don't know how many games they're going to lose, if any, in the regular season. I'm just telling you, Ohio State, they're really putting the pressure on Ryan Day to say, Ryan, we're going all in. Yeah. Michigan is gutted. This is your year to win the Big Ten and to beat Michigan and take us all the way to the title.
Yeah, so, and Urban Meyer spoke out recently and said that he thinks this might be the most talented roster he's ever seen, like for Ohio State standards. So I'm like, yeah, it's saying a lot.
I mean, look, last year their quarterback play, no matter what the number said, there's a reason why he's at Syracuse. I remember watching the Penn State-Ohio State game. I was in Miami. It was the day of the Clemson game, but I remember watching a pretty good amount of it. If they would have had, let's just put it this way, if they would have had C.J. Stroud, they would have won that game 38-3. There are so many throws that were left on the table. And Will Howard, who's not a great natural arm talent, but if he could just make routine throws, that team is going to be dangerous. Trust me, I don't see a lot of teams are going to be able to match up with them for 4 quarters.
Man, oh man. Well, speaking about another team that could be dangerous is your Miami Hurricanes, who I know we talked about them a little bit. Shaun Keynan actually mentioned them yesterday, speaking specifically about Cam Ward, who we know after last season at Wazoo entered the NFL draft and came back to college football to play for Miami. I guess, how are you feeling right now? Just the buzz going around, Miami about the team, about Cam Ward specifically, as far as how great this team can really be.
Playoffs. I'm going to go Jim Mora. Playoffs? Yeah, playoffs. That's in a 12-team field with that schedule. We're in the ACC, not the SEC East. And Cam Ward, to me, he has a chance if Mario Cristobal loosens up the reins and does what Ed Orgeron did in 2019 and basically let Joe Brady just say, okay, we got to gun it. And I think style of play with Mario this year, he's going to have to come out of his shell. And I don't ever want to hear Mario this year say, boy, we're being physical. I love the physicality. And meanwhile, the score 7-3. It just drives me nuts. Because how about you establish your offense? I hate when coaches say nowadays, we got to establish the run. Not in today's game. You got to establish points. And if you have a good defensive line, your goal is to make sure you're up by 2 scores going into that fourth quarter so you can let your front four not have to play the run. That's modern-day football in my view. Bill Walsh always had 2 precepts. No matter what his game plan was, he says, number 1, I'm not establishing the run. I'm establishing points. And in the fourth quarter, that's when I have to run the ball to protect the lead, grind the clock. And number 2, I got to have great pass rushers because I plan on being ahead. So that's where I think Mario has to evolve his coaching style. There's a lot of things to like about Mario Cristobal. This is the year he has to be an asset because there's 2 types of coaches. There's ones that blow a game a year or 2, and there's ones that win you a game or 2 that you shouldn't. Mario last year, I hate to say it, you know which one he was.
Yeah. This is a very favorable schedule, in my opinion, JB.
Yeah,
Hey, Steve, what are your take on Shaun? Shaun King said that Cam Ward, although he likes him, he's very inconsistent. And I'm watching him a little bit more. I'm getting some video on him from Wazoo, and he pushes the ball. Meaning when he has to put some oomph in it and he doesn't have the biggest arm. He's actually fucking pushing the ball. And he's trying to squeeze it into windows because his arm, in my opinion, see right there, that is a big push. I don't know if that's going to be – I don't know, Steve. Let me ask you this first before I talk out my ass. Where would you compare last year's Pac-12 and when Cam was in it to the ACC this year?
Well, the Pac-12 was deeper. The Pac-12 had like 8 or 9 really good quarterbacks. Look, the ACC is kind of top-heavy. It's basically been a signature program in Clemson, Florida State. I still think, look, Norvell does a good job over there, and they have some other good programs. But here's the thing about Ward. Ward has to be a point guard. Look, he doesn't have overwhelming arm talent. He has a very smooth release. I like the fact he climbs the pocket. Where he gets himself into trouble is not understanding when a play needs to die. If the horse is dead, stop kicking it. And most of his issues have been fumbles as he holds on to the ball. Look, every pass play is like you have a hand grenade in your hand and you pull that pin. And there comes a point in time when it's like 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Not every play is meant to be a completion. Sometimes you just have to let a play die. He's going to have a better offensive line in Coral Gables. He has a really good wide receiver crew. Okay, the tight end position is going to be much better. And if Mark Fletcher can come back by conference play, which I don't know what's really the word on him, he's going to have more help than he had at Washington State. He just has to be a facilitator and understand it's okay to actually punt. Okay, so look, he'll be fine as long as he understands he is a point guard. But is he Vinny Testaverde or Jim Kelly in terms of arm talent? No, he really isn't, but that's okay in today's game.
Well, you know what, Steve? They're making these preseason lists already, and they have Cam Ward listed in the top 10 Heisman Trophy contenders right here. Obviously, it's a list full of quarterbacks here. One name that obviously was missing from here was Shador, which actually Shaun thought that Shador should have been ahead of Jalen Milroe as one example, and he actually mentioned Cam Ward as well on there, if I'm not mistaken. But I guess You know, do you see Cam Ward though potentially having this type of like a Heisman type of season potentially?
If he does that, Miami will be in the playoffs. If he's one of those guys at the New York State Athletic Club in the first weekend of New York, that means that it was Eric Cristobal.
Yeah.
And look, here's the issue, and I looked this up the last couple of years, Smitty. If you score around 30 points in college football today, average, you're kind of average. You're kind of in the top 40 percentile. I think Miami was kind of in that area last year. You get to the mid-30s, you're getting to the top third. But to truly be elite, Darnell, you got to be around at least 38 to 40 points. Now, last year's number one offense was LSU, which was loaded. They had 45 points a game.
Wow.
Miami, I'm just telling you, Mario has to understand each game. Until Shannon Dawson, our coordinator, Shannon, get me 45 to 50. But it is a mindset. None of this. There's none of this. Hey, we're going to establish the run. Then no, come out gunning. This is the way college football. To me, if you're a good offense, you run your offense from play one.
Yeah.
Here's the issue with the list I have. First of all, would you put Shedeur on there?
Yes, because he's going to accrue numbers. They have a very favorable system, I'm assuming, and he's got a lot of hype. A lot of this is a popularity contest, so I would put Shedeur in there.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's not on there. Shaun and I was like, you got to be on there. Number one. Number two, let me ask you, I would have Noah Fafita way up there. I've seen him play as a youngster out here.
Even without Jed Fish.
Yeah, even without Jed Fish.
Okay.
I think he is a epitome of a gamer. Like, he is the epitome of having the it factor, tied in with a playmaker, tied in with making plays, big plays in big games.
And he's got the best receiver in the country.
He has the best wideout in the country.
T-Mac.
Yeah.
That's the most underrated great player in college.
Yeah.
T-Mac. I don't think anyone saw him, but he is a long, lean, striding guy that can high point the ball, and he creates unbelievable separation.
Yeah, Shaun mentioned that yesterday. He also mentioned him, and I agree. I just think Fafita's a no-brainer. I'd have him way up the list, especially not only because, listen, I get that you lost your head coach, but he's still at the program, and I believe that matters. I believe having set the boundary culture, being the leader of the same house when new bodies come in, I believe carries weight. Like Dylan Gabriel going to Oregon, now he is in a whole new environment, new staff, new system. I got to do this. There's a lot of those guys. I would actually have Jackson Dart higher, Jalen Milroe lower.
Lower. Guys, here's the thing with Jalen Milroe. He's a pretty good deep thrower. That intermediate stuff, he is very inconsistent at. If you watch a lot of those Alabama games last year, that stuff in the middle of the field and those 5-step drops where that ball has to come out with a dig route out. I'm just telling you, he did struggle for long stretches. I don't see now again with Kalen DeBoer, who's a quarterback whisperer, but I don't see this kid being the right-handed Michael Penix on a consistent basis.
He's not, and that's why DeBoer brought his 5-star freshman with him.
Yeah.
To Alabama, and I think he understands that system is not suited for Jalen Milroe. But I do like that DeBoer will adapt, and he will use Jalen in double and triple option RPO schemes. That's what I do believe Jalen can do. But I do believe he has a guy waiting. He has a pistol, loaded with his freshman. So I do think he has a backup there. I would actually move Nico down as well as I move other guys up, just for the simple fact that he played a bowl game, and we're already anointing him because he got a big-time NIL T-Mobile deal. Like, that's really what it is. And I don't know how you have a guy that played one bowl game on a guy over a guy, even though I think he's more talented than Shedeur because I've grown up knowing him. But I do not believe he should be on there, and Shedeur shouldn't.
I got a name that might rise. And I know he had a kind of an inconsistent bowl game, but he's highly touted, and I liked what I saw for the most part. Oklahoma's young quarterback, Jackson Arnold.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, he fell apart a little bit in that second half against Arizona, but I saw some stuff where I said, this kid has it. There's a reason why Dylan Gabriel transferred.
Yeah. There's a kid at UNLV and at Fresno State as well. And, the West Coast is always going to have quarterbacks. I mean, this is what we do. This is what we've done for a long time. We're a warm weather state who throws 7-on-7 year round. That we have a benefit, just like in baseball. We're better in baseball for most parts because we play all year round. Same with quarterbacks in the 7-on-7 landscape, where other states go right into track, wrestling, and basketball because they're shut down for football because of weather. California produces mostly the best quarterbacks. Let's be real. There's going to be some QBs on the West Coast that we haven't even seen yet that are going to come out and say, damn, Fresno has a guy.
Well, Cal has a good quarterback, that young kid.
So does Arizona State.
Cal, I mean, look, again, he's a little inconsistent. I know Jaden Ott's the nucleus of that offense. I thought Cal's quarterback, showed flashes of being pretty promising. I think his name is Mendoza.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fernando Mendoza?
I believe that's his name, yes. I think he's out of South Florida, too. I didn't know that. But I saw some Cal games. I was like, that young man played pretty well. I looked, who else is going to be okay that I like? Oh, LSU's quarterback, Nussmeier. I think he's going to have – look, say what you want about Brian Kelly. I know people hate him. Brian Kelly knows how to coach an offense, and his quarterbacks are generally very productive. I mean, look, Brian Kelly did a hell of a job with Jaden Daniels. Nobody wants to give him credit because he's Brian Kelly, but nobody thought leaving Arizona State that that guy's going to win a Heisman Trophy in 2 years. Nobody thought that.
Hey, Steve, before Smitty asks you the next question, is speaking of LSU, is Les Miles a college football Hall of Famer?
I believe so, but there's some things being held against him. But look, the guy did a good job at Oklahoma State, made LSU into a national power. Kansas, that's a tough job. But I think there's some issues there that are keeping him there. And I didn't know there was a rule. You had to have a certain winning percentage as a coach to be considered. I think that's unfair because if you take a bad job and it takes you 4 or 5 years to kind of build that thing the way Frank Beamer did at Virginia Tech, I don't believe that. You got to look like Howard Schnellenberger. I think for years had issues because of his winning percentage. So, but
he did well at Louisville and he did well at South.
Well, he built Miami. Without him, there is no program there basically. But if someone were to say to me, do I think Les Miles did enough as a coach across the board that he'd eventually be a Hall of Famer in my view? I would say yes.
Hey, before Smitty asked you this last question, before we get out of here, I appreciate you coming on. I was corrected. Shaun corrected me. UNLV kid left and went to SC.
Yes.
So right. I knew that guy was good. So I didn't know he left. Again, the SC 5-star commitment, kid named Juju. He was on a visit this past weekend at Colorado. Shador was his host. I did a rant on it. I'm just like, he's been committed at SC since August last year. And now he goes on a visit. And as a coach, it's like a guy that has a main girl and now he's on a date with a side girl. And that just drives me crazy because at the end of the day, Lincoln Riley's job is to retain your recruits, especially your big-time ones, and then make sure that you land those guys. This is just a telltale sign of what we have now. Player empowerment at the fullest. And then he'll demand an NIL deal, Steve. He'll say, I don't get an NIL deal that's big enough. Well, guess what? Don't decommit.
Here's the thing. He's a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
The quarterback is generally supposed to say, okay, if you're taking one arm, I'm your arm, but here's the deal. I won't take any more visits. I'm committed, but you don't recruit anybody else. And then there's an unwritten rule that the quarterback has to be the ringleader of that incoming class.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, there's like a lot of stories. I don't know of a lot of 5-star quarterbacks that aren't essentially locked in by their junior or certainly going into their senior year. Now I know Raiola at Nebraska, he went to like 18 different schools, committed to a different, now he's at Nebraska. And by the way, Matt Rule at Nebraska, that's a sleeper team. Watch them by halfway through the year. I think they're going to be really good. But generally, I want my quarterback to say, my flag is planted. I'm going to recruit other guys because I'm going to lean on these guys. I'm the leader of your class. But if you're taking visits like that, I'd be like, do we need another quarterback here?
Here, before Smitty asks you this, though, and it's still on the same topic. Here's the thing, though. This is what the generation's become. I'll choose to be a guy on social media and be at, Lil Wayne concerts over a guy that's got multiple Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks and first-round draft picks. This is what we've become. Even though I'm not a Lincoln Riley guy. I say it all the time on this show with Smitty. I say all the time, Lincoln Riley has all these guys that he gets into. He's really very seldom developed a guy from high school into a Heisman. Every one of them has been a transfer.
I will say this. Lincoln Riley in many respects, is the modern day Gary Stevens. Gary Stevens was the quarterback coach, coordinator at the University of Miami throughout the 80s. He was there from Jim Kelly to Steve Walsh to recruiting Craig Erickson, Vinny Testaverde, Bernie Kosar. And basically, it's almost like if he chose you to be his quarterback, you must be good. And he used to tell people and his parents, he said, hey, you let me coach your son, you'll never have to work another day in your life. I mean, and to me, Lincoln Riley is like, if you're his quarterback, guys, you might win a Heisman Trophy. Look at the track record.
That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
Now you're going to have to score 60 points a game. But
No
you might
defense, right.
Yeah, you aren't going to win a Heisman Trophy, though. You know?
Oh, man. That's true. Last question, Steve, before we let you go, man. I don't know if you saw, but Matt Rule, Pat McAfee, and others have came out to not eliminate walk-ons as the NCAA antitrust case gets closer to certification of settlement. I guess, what's your thoughts? Have you seen this at all?
Why are we getting rid of walk-ons? Of all the problems we're having in college sports, is walk-ons one of the problems?
No,
not at all.
I mean, I like you could list 1,000 problems with college football or college athletics, but a guy not taking up a scholarship. Most of these guys are scout team players. Some of them are probably just crash test dummies, right? They do a lot of things out there. They probably really do play for the love of the game. They don't get NILs generally, right? And then they eventually, some of them, those Cinderella stories, 1 in 50 guys can earn a scholarship. Why are we getting rid of walk-ons?
And you talk about the word culture within the football program. These walk-ons, being honest, they play a large part in that culture because they're typically the hardest workers. They're on time. They're in their weight room warriors. I think the reason why they're even talking about it, I know the big time was in McLean or whatever, the quarterback.
Oh, Cormani McLean. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the situation where he got like a full ride, basically scholarship, but it was through NIL dollars. I think that kind of woke some people up.
But that's one guy, though. But that dumpy white guy whose only chance is ever to be a long snapper.
Yeah.
And he gets like one snap his senior day in a 58-0 blowout. Those guys aren't getting those deals.
Right, I know.
Hey, Steve, and I'll be honest, I don't know if anyone said this take, but we're eliminating what doesn't bring in dollars. And that's what I see this becoming so bad, because we're eliminating walk-ons when we're going to focus on collectives and getting people that we have to recruit money. So we're going to not waste money on walk-ons when in 2 years we're going to issue a $150,000 scholarship possible to this kid, when we're just saying, you know what, we can't give this kid a scholarship later on because we need that dollar for XYZ guy who we need to go raise money
for. Coach, you know this. There's a thing called PWOs, preferred walk-ons, that if you're that kid who might be the 27th best player on your board, but you only have 26 scholarships, that coach will say, hey, give us a year or two. Let's take a look at you in practice, and maybe if things happen, a scholarship opens up.
But see, they started this. They started this shit, Steve, before no one talks about it, but there used to be 96 Division I scholarships when Smitty played. Now it's 85.
There used to be 130.
I'm hearing they're trying to cut that even lower, because if they cut it and they keep going down, now they're going to say this is this group of guys that can collect money from the NIL pool. And when they get smaller and smaller, again, the NCAA.
Yeah, but Coach, I hate to tell you, we know this. There's like 20 players really collecting major NIL. To me, look, how many backups are really part of a NIL? They might get part of something as the collective where everyone gets something. But look, every program that I know of has a history of walk-ons actually contributing and becoming players, guys that make the NFL. Every program
what did you used to call them, though? Program builders.
Right.
There's no more programs no more. These cats are in and out, and that's why they're going to eliminate it, because there's no more culture being created.
Right, but
in and out.
The NIL, to me, are like boxing. The top 2% of the players are getting 98% of the money. I don't think shrinking scholarships is going to make really much of a difference, to be honest with you. I really don't.
I agree.
So, I don't know. I remember Nebraska every year would have the largest sideline gathering for home games. They seemingly used to have like 150 players because they had an unbelievable walk-on program under Tom Osborne. And every year, it seemed to me like one of those names like Zateca would always be like this guy who was a walk-on 4 years ago, but he'd become a player. And it's a shame you're losing that. Like Texas A&M had the 12th man, Smitty, before you were born.
Yeah.
They had a tradition for about 20 years where their whole kickoff unit, all their gunners, and I think even the kicker, they were all walk-ons. And they went like 15 years, they never allowed a touchdown. Because those guys would say, okay, we get 6 plays a game. And they actually did like a SEC TV, the ESPN. They did a documentary on the 12th man. It was instituted by, I think, Jackie Sherrill. So they would face guys like Eric Metcalf, all these fast guys. They never allowed a touchdown. In fact, they would allow less than 20 yards per kickoff return. These guys were good because that's all they cared about, and they would never play another play. All they would do was kickoff returns, and it worked. It was a great tradition, and now we're going to get rid of that. Great.
I agree. His culture is just going to shit. I don't get it. Hey, Steve, by the way, they're throwing some shade at you because they're saying there's no way there's an Asian in this world that's lazy.
They've never seen me most of my afternoons in the office when I'm taking a nap reading a book.
Hey, tell them you're fully Americanized. That's why.
Yeah, I'm tall, I can drive, and I'm bad at math. I break all the stereotypes.
Gung ho. Hey, appreciate you.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you Thursday. See you guys later.
Later.
Peace.
Hey, we got a special guest joining us after this. Shaun King's going to call in. He has something to get off his chest about some of the things Smitty's been saying. Black on black, what's going on? We're going to dive into it. Shaun and I are on the same page. Smitty and Shaun, they got a little black beef going, I think. What? Yeah, don't want to miss this one. We'll see you at 4.
You wearing that T-shirt, JB? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I can't back down now, Jason. I can't back down now. I can't renege. This ain't spades. I can't renege and say, hey, it is what it is. I'm ready for it. By the way, it was Mahomes' first 300-yard Super Bowl, and it took overtime.
Listen, I try my. Listen, I'm not even a Chiefs fan, you know that, but at some point, you gotta just be honest and keep it real. Mahomes is amazing, man. He makes plays when he needs to make plays, but JB will find a way, no matter what happens. He will find a way to still win in his head, in his mind.
Jason, I'm sure Jason's going to blast me on his show today and ask me these questions. So, but look at Andy Reid here. He is totally embarrassed, and he's like, it keeps me young, and he's making the fun out of it last night interviewing him after the push.
He keeps me young. Yeah. So, the balance looked good. Yeah, not so good. He tested that hip out. Yeah, I know.
I mean, what can he say? What can he say? Like, I'm cutting them. I'm getting rid of them. Like, I don't know, man. At some point, I think that I just think that he could be exhausted, man. This is a lot now.
Well, I do think it's a lot for all of these coaches in terms of, you got to understand, no one even criticized Travis Kelce last night on the broadcast. It's crazy that a player could do that and not get criticized and not have it be a story. When they got to halftime and Nate Burleson talked all over Bill Cowher and everybody else and wouldn't even allow this topic to be addressed, I was like, what world am I living in? They're down at halftime. They showing no composure, and Travis Kelce's just push, shove, whatever, run up on one of the great coaches, and I can't even hear Bill Cowher or anybody talk about it. And it's just, that's how protected players are. That's how much the balance of power has switched. And so it's very tough on all these coaches. And look, players around the league, it's why A.J. Brown tweeted about it. Players realize, like, man, we got all the power. We make more money than the coaches, and the media is afraid of us. And so we can do anything. And so if I'm a coach and I made a bunch of money and my legacy's strong, do I consider doing what Nick Saban's doing? I was like, hey, man, someone else got to deal with these headaches. I'm good.
Let me ask you a little college move before we get out of here. Chip Kelly left the head coaching job at a Power 5 and went to be the OC at Ohio State. Ryan Day, he coached their New Hampshire guys and all this stuff. I called it weeks ago. What do you think about that? Is that full evidence of I'm done? And since I couldn't get an NFL job, which we know Chip was trying to get, it was the Seahawks OC job. He couldn't get it. He went to the Power 5 and went to be the OC at Ohio State. Ryan Day, he coached their New Hampshire guys and all this stuff. I called it weeks ago. What do you think about that? Is that full evidence of I'm done? And since I couldn't get an NFL job, which we know Chip was trying to get, So is this the way of saying, listen, at least I ain't the head coach anymore. If I'm going to stay making a couple million at Ohio State, it's going to be as a coordinator because I don't want to deal with this stuff that's going on. And we've seen Harbaugh, Saban. We're seeing half at Boston College just walk up and get out of there and go to Green Bay as a coordinator. It's happening more and more and more. And I've talked to guys that say, JB, we're trying to get out of here. Did Chip Kelly just do that?
To some degree, yes, because as a coordinator, you can just worry about X's and O's. The head coach has to live in that transfer portal. The head coach has to deal. If he stays at UCLA, he's under a lot of pressure. He's probably needed to win 9-10 games to keep his job at UCLA. And now you can go make $1.5 million, $2 million at Ohio State, just drawing up plays. That being a coordinator in college might be a better job than being the head coach in college. Shaun Moore may find that out at Michigan. It's just like he was in an ideal position, drawing up plays. Harbaugh's dealing with all the headaches. The kind of money that coordinators are getting paid now, that's a great living with a lot less headaches.
All right. I'm back in the building. Let's bring in my new co-host, Shaun King. Welcome Shaun in, as he's my new co-host. Smitty be on CP time, man. Motherfucker, he don't get it, dog. Like he always late, late to the studio. We're not at the studio today, Shaun, because Smitty didn't want to go.
I actually like the crib better.
Yeah, I know.
Till we get the studio all decorated and set up right.
Yeah, I know. It's about cameras and mics, but we'll be there tomorrow and Thursday. We're going to be at the studio. We're getting our warm-up reps, Shaun. We got to get our reps in, Shaun.
Yeah, hey, Shaun said, I don't like the studio. He said studio shitty. He said, I don't really like it. He said, I like to do it this way. He said, JB, you wasted your money, JB. You shouldn't say that money.
I wasted it too, because we're going to be there.
No, but you can set it up to where it looked right. Like that first couple episodes look like y'all in the waiting room, going to see the doc or something.
Hey, we got 2 GoPro cameras, extra wide. One on the board, one on the writable board, one on Smitty and I. And then we got a solo camera for our solo chair. So we just got to do some cropping, and we got to do all this.
Yeah. Like your setup right now look dope. Like if if all 3 of us was there, got JB show the bar in the background.
Yeah.
The problem is JB lived too far though. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit. I gotta drive an hour each way in the morning. I gotta leave here at 4 in the morning. But that's what it is.
40 minutes.
You see his backyard run right into the mountain.
Right.
Hey, Shaun, I like the studio though.
Shaun ain't been there physically though. The studio down there hard though. It's down there like
it is. You just don't know how to set it up.
Camera set up proper, but the studio set up down there hard. You got we got the casting couch over there. We got the 90-inch screen TV. We got the damn breakfast area over here on the side. We got Shaun, you got to pull up. Hey.
So since I stopped playing, I've kind of been in the media space on some level.
Yeah.
So I completely get the advantages of having a studio. My point was when you first move into something until you it's just like a new crib.
Mm-hmm.
Like the minute you close on the crib, like you telling all your people, hey man, you gotta come see the crib. But it's not until probably 12 months after that you finally got it right.
Everything right, perfect.
Oh, yeah. And this is the first time us getting out and doing it and shit. I spent a lot of money. We're fucking staying in that motherfucker. I know that.
Bailey about to move out, and Bailey gonna live there.
Hey, it's funny too. It's all non-members and nobody that invests in this show that talks the most shit.
Yeah.
Isn't that ironic? It's always a motherfucker that don't do shit for the show, don't talk, and he's a nobody, by the way. He lives with his mama. He's still sucking on her titty.
Who y'all talking about?
Just people in the chat.
People in the chat would be hating. Yeah.
You know, it's always a non-member motherfucker. It's always a motherfucking absolute Shaun nobody.
Hey,
Sean, I always tell them though, Sean, JB, like these fans, they get a turn on when JB cusses them out. So they purposely do stuff to get him to cuss them out. And
I get my shit hard cussing them out.
Hey, my wife just walked in and she's never really heard the show. So she's used to me being on like politically correct platform.
Hey, Miss King, this is not that show.
Come say hello to the people, man.
How
hey,
you
what's
doing?
Up? This is Faith.
Second on what?
Hey, right. How you doing?
This is live, man.
Wow, I can see everything. You about to go viral now, man. We're gonna cut that slice and viral.
Hey, she was over there putting her shoes on because, like, I use my garage as kind of like where I film because when you got kids, like anywhere in the house, it's too noisy.
Right.
You'll learn this, Smitty. Like mine are. By the way, shout out to my youngest, Ashton. Happy birthday. Mine are 4, 9, 11, 13. So the house is just noise.
Ooh, 4, 9, 11, 13.
Not a second of quiet. Monday.
You sound like Bernie Mac on Kings of Comedy. He said, I got 3.
Him downstairs.
Right. Him downstairs. He said, somebody come help me babysit these mother. Love it, man. Love it. But we're glad to have you on here, my guy, man. I don't know if you got the chance to watch, Steve Kim is high on Cam Ward. He's high. He thinks Cam can really do some big things in Miami.
So I think he was 100% accurate in his evaluation of Cam. I do think Cam has moments where he is very Caleb Williams-like. But I think Steve was very realistic in that he does not have Caleb Williams' arm talent. And so he gets himself in a lot of trouble. Like, if I coach Cam, I wouldn't let Cam do anything outside the structure of the play for like at least the first 5 practices. Like, I have this little drill that I do during 7-on-7, JB. Can you hear me, JB?
Yeah, I can hear JB's mic's messed it up. I can hear you, though.
I have this little drill that I do during 7-on-7 where I put PVC pipes around the quarterback, and they go from B gap to B gap, and he has to make every throw in 7-on-7 from in between those PFC pipes.
Ooh.
Teaching him how to throw the ball in rhythm from the pocket because Cam, he's sort of like Caleb in a lot of ways. Like, the flat will be there. He don't want to take the flat. He want to make 2 people miss and, throw the deep ball. So it gets him into trouble. We'll see at Miami. This will be the most talented team he's played on. As Steve mentioned, the ACC's got Florida State and Clemson. Then you'd assume like Louisville will take the next step. They got a lot of transfers, but they're not as deep of a conference as the SEC. So we'll see.
And they do have a favorable schedule, I would say, at least on paper, you know what I'm saying? And with it being a 12-team playoff, there's a lot of things that are going in the favor and the benefit, I'll say, of Miami this year. So it's
y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear.
Yeah,
I just don't trust Cristobal. I don't trust Mario on any level.
Tell us why.
I don't either.
His game management has been suspect. He's like Staley almost during the game. Like he goes out of his way to do something that can be criticized post game. Like I don't think I've ever seen this, JB. And this was, I think, the Miami. They were trying to close out a win over, I want to say it was Georgia Tech. And they could have kneeled the ball and got out of there. And they're trying to run the ball because O-line coaches, Mario's an O-line coach by nature, they hate kneeling the ball at the end of a game. They think at the end of the year, if you go undefeated, that the 75 yards of rushing you're going to lose by kneeling the ball is going to impact like their overall rushing stats. So they're still running the ball. You can see one of the assistant coaches running up and down the sideline, screaming at the OC and Mario, just kneel the ball. Kid fumbles, Georgia Tech picks it up, runs it in, and wins the game.
Yeah, crazy.
Hey, Shaun, you hit me up on something else, and we were talking, and I want to know. So, Steve and I were talking with Smitty about Deion and his Joel Klatt interview, which was, we know it was all Joel Klatt's a Colorado alum and a very has to be very conservative speaking wise on his platform. Like you just mentioned, he said he wasn't a baby daddy. He was a father, blah, blah, blah. You don't think he's done anything so far that shows he's here for the long run, correct?
Yeah, I don't. And the one thing you have to know about Deion, he's a brilliant orator. Like, he is an absolute brilliant orator. Like, his ability to communicate using words is elite. It's second to none. So no matter what the situation, Deion can get in front of the crowd and not just make you, but make the entirety of the crowd believe whatever it is he's saying. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Hey, Shaun, like not to cut you up, but I used to tell people all the time, hey, I got to get motherfuckers to buy what I'm selling.
Right, absolutely. And I think sometimes because he's so good at it, I don't know if he always sees exactly that. His actions don't always match up with his words. And nobody's perfect, and I don't think there's any malicious bone in Deion's body. And I think in Deion's mind, he does potentially plan on being there at Colorado. My point is the moves he's made so far seem like he's trying to give Shedeur, Travis, and what's the other son?
Hunter?
No, Shedeur, Travis, and what's the other son? Shiloh. He's trying to give those three the best chance to try and win before they leave.
Yeah.
And so when I say he's not, in my opinion, building it for the long run, that's what I mean. Like, because I think if all those guys were freshmen, he'd approach this different. They'd have been much more heavily involved in high school. They'd have been much more, I think, patient with the development of some of the guys they've had, understanding that it's going to pay off in year 3 and 4, whereas it looks like the majority of those moves are to try and win in year 1 or 2 while he still has those 3.
I agree. I'm the same way. I just don't see it. Like, he could say all he wants, but at the end of the day, we've seen his track record, and just like any of us all have a track record, there's no knock either because these guys move around all the time. It ain't just on him. All I'm saying is we got a lot of these coaches that way. Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma. I mean, that's Oklahoma. They're as blue blood as you get to USC, another blue blood. I don't even know if I'm seeing Deion go to an NFL team. I could actually see him going to another college program.
I think, and I want him to go to another college because I want him to have a legit chance to really win it all. Like, by that I mean somewhere where there's enough in-state talent where his communication abilities with the high school coaches and stuff will actually pay off. Now, Deion will have to make some adjustments. There's no in-home visits. And, you know, the hard line is kind of drawn in the sand. And maybe that's because he was rehabbing the toe or the foot and didn't want to be on. Maybe, you know, there's some medical reason behind it. But, you know, once you get to the top, and it's not about getting like 1 5-star, it's about winning the battle, you know, for 11 of them. Like, you're not going to be able to get those kids and Kirby Smart and Ryan Day are going in the house and you saying you're not coming. Like, there's some things he got to adjust, but he's capable of doing it. Here's the fascinating part about Colorado that I want to see. Is Deion the attraction or is it Shiloh, Shedeur, and Travis? And here's what I mean by that. The kids they're recruiting now have heard of Deion, but they never saw Deion play.
Right.
Their parents, the adults in their lives they haven't. All they know is Shedeur got a damn Rolls Royce. Shiloh and Shedeur got a KFC commercial. They got another national commercial. Travis Hunter making $1 gazillion over there. All he do is fish and stay in the house with his girl. So, like, is that the attraction? Because they want to be like them? And when they leave, like, is there going to be a void there? Or, and like, listen, I'm not saying Deion don't have a huge brand because obviously he does. But there comes a time, like, for instance, all the adult men in my life swear that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest player they've ever seen. I'm 47. Michael Jordan is by far better than Kareem on every day of the week because I never saw Kareem in college or in his prime when he was dominating the NBA. So there is a disconnect based on age.
Right. That's a good point. That's a hell of a point. I honestly, I mean, my initial reaction is I think there's a combination of both. I think it is Deion and just the brand that he is. Even if you don't know what he did on the field, you recognize how big he is, even on social media, just on that front alone, and just the pool he has just from that standpoint. But also, as well as on top of that, his kids and the popularity of Shedeur and Shiloh and Travis as well. I think it's a combination of both. So I think to your point, it will be interesting to see just how the recruiting will go once those guys go on to the NFL and move on, and see if Deion will still have that same pool, which is why I think this season is so important though. Because at some point, winning just has to be a part of it, right? All the hype, the hoopla, all that's cool. We love it, but you got to win now. I think that's why he's going so hard on the transfer side to really try to go all the way in on this particular season. Not because he's about to move on, in my opinion, because he knows that this is the last year with like these main guys for sure, right? So it's like we got to win now. Go win 10, 11 games to kind of show and prove that that we can do this.
Hey,
so we talked about that. Like, I think you were putting the phone on the charger.
Oh yeah. Shaun, two things I gotta say. First of all, I'm 48, about to be 49, and
so you're my age. We grew up the same era.
Yeah, Kareem's the most dominant player I've ever seen, and I think Kareem's the most transcending player with the skyhook. That was the most unstoppable shot ever created, and he's the winningest player individual of all time, from high school to college to the NBA. That is why Kareem, to me, is in my GOAT conversation. But I'm a Kobe guy. But anyway, let me ask you something. Give everybody, the fans out here, a true definition or breakdown of what I'm about to ask you. Yesterday, we broke down Juju, this 5-star commit at USC, on a visit at Colorado. And we all know it's like the main chick getting cheated on by the side chick. And I want to ask you something. Explain to everybody who does it fall on? If Colorado gets this kid from SC and Lincoln Riley, is it solely a Lincoln Riley failure, or is it a Shaun King failure? Meaning Shaun King's the quarterback coach and the guy that developed this relationship, which a lot of the fans don't understand what we do behind the scenes. Our quarterback guy has built this relationship with this kid, or whoever it may be. It could be just whoever. It could be a running back coach. It could be a GA. Whoever's built the relationship with this kid, who does it fall on that this cat has basically cheated on me with at going to Colorado on a visit he's been committed to since August of last year? So break those two things down, because to me, it's always on me as the head coach and the go-getter recruiter. But if the head coach isn't a go-getter, he's just a figurehead, it falls on Shaun King or JB to reel that kid and lock him down. Explain the differences and how that could be happening here at Colorado.
Well, let me first of all, put context on this. And for those that are in the chat room, those who are going to see this later, every college recruiting apparatus is built differently. There are some schools, and I'm presuming that USC is like this because of Lincoln's involvement with the quarterbacks once they're on campus, where he may be the only person allowed to recruit an elite quarterback like Julian Lewis. Like nobody else, they might write letters or something, but they're not allowed to text or call. Like he might have a recruiting assistant that has to get his okay, and that might be how that's set up. Some other places, the head coach may be more of a closer. His assistants, they do all the lead work. The kid only really communicates with the coach when he's on campus, or maybe once a week when the liaison, meaning the position coach, has him on Zoom and he walks in the head guy's office. Each kind of situation is a little different. Being SC, understanding what I knew about Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley, I would presume Lincoln is the lead dog on Julian. As far as going to Colorado, and this is what I always told kids when I recruited them. We got to trust each other, and everything you tell me got to always end up being true. So when you recruit a kid like Julian Lewis, what was spoken of when he decided to commit? Was it, if you're not ready to shut recruiting down, don't commit. Take all your visits, let us know. Was it, if you're ready to commit with us, cool, you can still go and have fun and take your visits. We trust you. Like, what was the conversation when he decided to commit? Because if it was, okay, you're done recruiting, and all of a sudden he goes somewhere else, then listen, my only thing is, and you can't ever get mad at these kids for what they do. You just got to treat them like adults. Hey, he told me one thing, you're doing something different. No, coach, I'm good. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, I've been in this game a lot longer than you. You went back on your word, so listen, I'm going to honor your commitment, but I'm also going to go out here and start recruiting some other quarterbacks, just in case you decide to flip on me. You got to be able to tell a talented kid that and be serious about it, That's why you got to be very strategic, I think, on the front side, which is an issue that I think Dabo Swinney and Clemson's having. Because his rule forever has been, if you commit to us, you can't take any more visits. So I just think, I don't know which way you would approach it. My thing would be, depending on how many I'm taking at the position, like let's just say quarterback, we're only taking one. I'm going to be hard line. Like if you commit to us, you got to shut this thing down. I mean, we're giving you a bunch of money to come here. You damn near an employee now at said university. So, I mean, you can't go to any other visits. That's just what it is. If you're not ready to make that commitment, then, take your time, because I'm only taking one quarterback. And I'm going to shut it down if you shut it down.
Hey, Shaun, I've been saying this for a long time, though. Don't be a side chick catching main chick feelings.
You're right.
You can't be. Not in this game. Not no more.
Right.
Not when you added money to it. Not when you threw money to it. It's wild. The Lakers, we talked about yesterday, hiring J.J. Redick.
Press conference was gold.
So break that down, because, and I know how this is, Shaun. I'm the number one guy probably in the damn country that knows how this is. So I was loved in the first 8 hours on the job when I was on Netflix, because I'm motherfucking everybody. And damn, this white boy from Compton cussing out black kids, and hell, he a real one. Woo, and the kids love him, and da-da-da. 8 weeks later, Shaun, I'm the fucking devil. Just remember to be careful what you ask for. This motherfucker better win, because they're going to cuss, and he's not professional, and blah, blah, blah.
But, JB, it's not about just what you say. It's how you say it and what you're talking about.
Oh, you're back on the show now, motherfucker?
You know what I'm dealing with at home. Don't act like that on. You know what's going on today. It's the reason why we're not in studio. I got shit going on at the crib that I got to handle.
Hey, Smith,
anyway, it's not about just cussing, JB.
Hey,
it's
Smith,
about how did you cuss? What did you say to your player? Am I saying fuck, or am I saying fuck you? That's the difference.
So, Smitty, I'm gonna give you these bars. I've utilized this forever. It's never content. It's always presentation. When you're dealing with women, when you're dealing with players, when you're dealing with the homies, it's never content. It's always presentation. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. I thought the press conference was gold. I think what you're getting with J.J. Redick is he's extremely opinionated. So the people that dislike him are because they disagree with his opinions. But I do think he has a high basketball IQ. I think he's extremely intelligent. And I think he's very adept at managing the cultural differences that race creates. Like, you can tell he's been in a whole lot of different locker rooms, and he know how to be him and still be cool with everybody. Now, the issue will be, and we're going to find this out because the draft is coming up next week, right?
Yeah.
And then summer leagues right after that. How much actual control does JJ have? Because, see, I think that's what a rude awakening is going to be like, because he knows the college kids. He knows the kids in this draft. Are they going to accept his input on who they're selecting at 17? That's why I think the rift starts when you get a new job. They tell you one thing, then you get there, and JB took the independence job. They told him, come in here, turn us into something legitimate, make us relevant.
Right.
They allowed him to do that. What if when he got there, all of a sudden they were like, well, we can't take any kid that's got behavioral issues, or we can, you know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, that's where the next 10 to 14 days is going to be important.
I tell people, by the way, the draft's tomorrow, I believe. I think, right? Isn't the draft tomorrow? But anyway, needless to say, like, I would never take a job, Shaun, unless I had full autonomy. And people don't realize.
Oh, yeah, it's tomorrow.
Assistant coaches shouldn't take a job with a head coach that don't have full autonomy, because that assistant's going to get cut real quick, and the head coach may be fired, and then you'll have a job till June, your contract will end, and then you'll be fired. The difference is autonomy is what Nick Saban, Pete Carroll, Kirby Smart, Dabo Swinney, all these guys have taken those jobs because they had full autonomy, meaning they're even more powerful than the president. Because, nah, Mr. President, Mrs. President, we need it this way. We need you to get this kid admitted into our classes in summer. I need to get this early grad kid enrolled now, and I need to start him in these classes. Like, those little things that no one has a clue about, they just look at wins and losses. They don't look at all the real shit that goes into it. Some presidents at some places will tell Shaun, "No, can't do it."
Hey, Smitty, it goes this far. Let's say JB had a winning season 2 years ago, but like this year after we struggled.
Yeah.
There's some places where the AD or the president can come in and say, well, you got a choice. You can fire Smitty and King, or we're going to fire you.
That's how it goes.
Like, what the hell?
That's cold-blooded.
To JJ Redick's point, does he even get to pick his own staff? Like, all of this would factor into if I took that job. The last thing you're going to do in my first opportunity to be a head coach is go get some former head coach that you know that I don't know and put him on my staff.
Right.
Because great staffs are about trust.
Hey, Shaun. And that's great.
I don't want to worry about
backstabbing
the hallway and you coming out of such and such office. What the hell y'all in there talking about?
Shaun, that's a great point, and that's why I never kept one coach from a holdover. Not one. If I don't know you on a holdover staff, I came right in and I just said, "Hey guys, no offense, you're all let go."
And that's fair. And I got hosed in that same situation. Charlie Strong gets fired at University of South Florida. Of course, I'm from St. Petersburg. Tampa's home. I've been there. I've coached the Conference Player of the Year, been named Recruiter of the Year in the conference by rivals. Jeff Scott comes in. I got years left on my deal. He does the same thing. He cleans house. I lose a job in the transition. So it sucks.
And you understand both sides though.
I understand both sides.
The assistant coach is always going to get screwed. And unless you have a tie with that guy taking a job, there's always going to be that, I got to watch your ass. You're not my homie. I got to watch you. And I'd rather have guys I can control as the head coach. Because at the end of the day, Shaun, people don't understand. There's only one guy that sits in this seat. And the wins and losses go on this guy's record, not yours. And I hire guys, but I'm the one fired. Y'all are hired. I'm fired. That I don't think they understand there's a fine line in that.
Hey, Smitty, you know what really pissed me off about the situation?
Talk to him.
You got to think, homegrown kid now, played quarterback for the Bucks. If there's anybody on that staff that you can justify keeping, has done a great job, it would be me.
Right.
So he knew he couldn't just fire me and put anybody there. So he hired Pat White, the former West Virginia quarterback.
Right.
But I didn't have an issue with that. But I was really pissed off with Jeff Scott. So if you see this, Jeff, I'm still pissed off with you about this. He fired Pat White after the first year and put his little homie in there as the full-time coach that he wanted to from the beginning.
That was all right. That was always the plan. He just couldn't make it look that way.
Right. He couldn't do it like on the surface because it would have got too much pushback.
Smitty, but Shaun, that is what the Lakers are doing with this hire. They knew they were hiring JJ Redick. They just couldn't pull the plug because they knew there was a conflict of interest in there when they had a podcast together, which I started the show with.
Like JB, if you remember, I called it brilliant.
Yeah.
I said this is the first brilliant move that Jenny Buss has made.
The Dan Hurley thing, and you said
bring Dan Hurley in.
Yeah.
Offer him just enough so it looks good, but not enough so he leaves. And now it looks like, okay, what are we going to hire? Monty Williams? Like, he don't want to coach. He got to take care of his family. Like, who else is out there that anybody's going to really, like, argue with? We went after the big dog. Okay, come on, JJ. We'll fall back to you when JJ was the target the whole time. And if you notice, LeBron has been quiet the whole time so as not to generate any negativity whatsoever.
And this is the thing, like, I'm going to talk two things real quick. One has to do with this JJ Redick hire. Like, this is the thing. Smitty keeps bringing up Steve Nash, and I said, well, Steve Nash. Well, I'm saying we're talking about it as comparison. When we started the show, we were talking about what he failed at and why he failed. It's the same. There's no difference. This guy's coached 1 year at 4-year-old AAU level, and then the next year he's the head coach here. And I don't know if you can give a guy like that autonomy because he's never done it. So how are you going to give a guy that doesn't know nothing full autonomy on already an organization that the owner don't know what she's doing, the GM don't know what he's doing, and now you got a head coach that don't know what he's doing? He may be the most brilliant mind ever, Shaun, but they ain't got the Jimmys and the Joes. I don't give a shit if he calls up every goddamn play there is and the guys keep missing the jumper. It ain't going to show up well. He's going to be looked at and scrutinized, as we already know, at an all-time high.
I want to make it crystal clear now. I have not said I'm for or against the JJ Redick hire. I think it's going to be fascinating to watch. all I've spoken on is, can any head coach succeed if the power vacuum isn't in his favor?
Yeah.
Like when you make a hire like this, the scrutiny is going to be so high. And we're not talking about, and the Lakers have NBA Finals like expectations every year, but they're not an NBA Finals roster.
Right.
They don't have a lot of money to have a lot of movement to add like significant pieces. So whoever got this job was going to be fighting an uphill battle. But the easy scapegoat now is JJ Redick.
Right.
I want to touch on something before. I wanted to touch on one more thing about this. People in the chat and the naysayers that don't know the finite details or intricacies of coaching this profession, not only in the NFL, but let's just talk college and Division I. You brought up this great point about hiring Pat White because optics were he's a brother. I hired his brother to coach QBs in South Florida, where probably I'm going to have a brother playing QB. And then later hiring this little white boy that I knew I wanted to hire from the gate.
Right.
This is not a shock. I want to be clear to everybody out there. This is normal business practice. This is what happens, and Shaun can attest to what happens here. When we're in an interview and I don't have my full staff yet, and I got my homies, so I got Shaun in there and I got Smitty in there.
Yeah.
And I don't have an O-line coach hired yet. I don't have a D-line coach hired yet. And I don't have a wide receiver coach hired yet. And I said those three things specifically for a reason because I know what I'm talking about. I'm hollering at Shaun and Smitty like, all right, dog. Shaun said, JB, I got a boy. Coach O-line, been a whole line. White boy? Shaun go, he mixed. All right, well, shit, I'm going to think about it. But right now, I'm looking for a white boy.
Right.
Why is that? See, these naysayers don't understand. This doesn't have nothing to do with racist. And this is how this shit works. Smitty, JB, I got this coach. My boy, he's been in the league. He coached wideouts. Brother? Nah, he white boy. Nah, I'm not interested. I got to have a brother at wideout, coach.
JB, to your point.
Shit. They don't understand. This is real shit. Hey, who's the D-line coach? Who's the D-line coach? Brother.
JB,
don't bring me a white boy.
Hey, to your point, JB.
He got dreads?
Hey, it happened to me at University of Colorado, of all places, with Carl Durrell. Carl Durrell gets a head job. He's a defensive guy. He hires, I think it was Maxey to be D coordinator. Somebody, whole defensive staff was black. All of a sudden, he kept the running back coach who was there forever. He was black.
Darian Hagan.
Yeah, Darian Hagan had a black receiver coach.
Darian Hagan wasn't going nowhere. That's my best friend. He wasn't going nowhere.
Right, so he's got the quarterback coach spot left. I'm supposed to be going to Colorado as the quarterback coach. He ends up hiring a white guy because he had to have more diversity on the staff. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
You've been on the wrong end a couple times.
Hey, Shaun.
USF for Charlie down over here.
That's why I got out of coaching.
Shaun, I'm telling you right now, I've been up with Darian in Colorado. This was before. This was 4 head coaches ago, and the president would call to the head coach, who at the time was Mac. He got the job and said, "Hey, by the way, I don't know who you're hiring, but you know Darian don't go nowhere, right?" He the national championship quarterback. I mean, he ain't going nowhere. Plus, he's been through 10 head coaches. He's been there for 30 years since he left Locke High School, and that is what he is. There's a reason why he's not there anymore. I'm just leave it at that. Darian left. Darian left Colorado.
I would say he left. Yeah,
he left Colorado after 30 years. There's a reason. So
yeah, I think the first year with Dion, he moved off the field and then he left after that, if I'm not mistaken.
Hell yeah. So like, I'm just saying, there's a reason. But Carl Durrell's been that way since he was at UCLA. He's been that way. He's a Neuheisel guy. Like, think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we got the same agent, JB. I went as far as to tell my wife to start looking for cribs in Boulder.
Hey, I remember I remember me and you talked because I talked to Darian about you because I remember we talked about that when that was going down, and Darian was like advocating for you. I remember it.
Yeah, because the receiver was the OC, but I think he was.
You talking about Darren Severini?
Yeah, Severini.
Yeah, my boy. It's my boy. He's been on the show several times. That's my boy. Yeah.
He's a head coach somewhere else now.
He's at D. He's at a D2. So he was on the show last week. So look,
literally last week.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the cool part. Like before that, though, it was my boy that was the OC with Darian. This was back when Matt. It was Dan Hawkins, and then Mac replaced him. And he was with Sark at UW. He's been all over. So he was there for years. Then he went to KU with Weiss. He was there for a while too. So like it's been a Colorado's been one of the most
crazy.
They've changed more coaches over the last few, not just head coaches either.
And Smitty, here's the one thing about that profession that I hate, because I'm a person that wants everybody to win.
Yeah.
Like I want everybody to win. Ain't a hating bone in my body. But if I told you that I didn't take some pleasure out of the fact that Carl Durrell never won at Colorado consistently, I think it had 1 year where they were decent, but most of it was because the quarterback play was inadequate. Oh,
hey, Shaun, to be honest,
I had to go to church and ask my pastor to pray for me, because I got in my feelings one time when I text Carl directly. And I was like, hey, God don't like ugly.
Hey, Shaun, I'm gonna be honest. I've heard so many bad stories about certain shit, but I'm gonna tell you, I had a coach come in the office and we were sitting there, and I just hired this young GA type of kid.
Mm-hmm.
And you know damn well, Shaun, there's the main table, and then there's those kids that sit around the table that really don't say fucking nothing.
Right.
This kid, hey, coach, I know a guy that can coach DBs. I'm looking to hire a DB coach, right? And I go, yeah, whatever. He goes, and they said his name. And I looked at that motherfucker and I said, motherfucker, you want to be fired on your fucking first day? If you ever mention Steve Erickson as my DB coach, I will fire your motherfucking ass. If you think I'm hiring a white fucking DB coach, your fucking ass knows nothing about this profession. And that kid got caught. He never spoke again in the meeting. I was like, hey, sometimes you take that. You either be fired or get shock treated, motherfucker, because we'll never have a white DB coach in this motherfucker. Just know it. And it's JUCO, Shaun. It ain't like it's New England Patriots.
Hey, Smitty, I do think because one of the things that I have found, a lot of people hit me up about the show. They love the show, guys. Y'all doing a great job. Is I always like to educate as we like have fun and have opinions and comedy. And my advice to anybody that's looking to get into coaching, or all you young coaches, you got to make a decision right off the bat. What's more important, being right or being liked? Because you're probably not going to be able to be both.
Well, let me ask you this. What's more important, being loved or being feared?
Well, I think that energy comes in later in your career when you've established yourself and you've, been on a couple different staffs and got fired and hired and fired and hired. But right off the rip, you got to decide what's more important, being right or being liked. My advice is to go in, keep your head down. Don't offer your opinion on nothing that is not asked. And if you feel like you're getting set up when it's asked, then just plead the fifth.
I don't think people realize.
Well, let me ask you this: you rather be rich and wrong or broken right?
You're right.
Smitty just asking dumb shit now. Hey, listen, let me ask you this.
I have to have my little shit in here to make it.
Shaun, I knew he was gonna say some dumb shit just to say anything.
Do you want to still coach, or are you like completely anti-coach at this point?
Who?
You.
Oh, I would go to the NFL.
But
I would go to
done with college.
I would go to college if I knew the head coach and it was the right spot.
And Shaun, I think you and I and Sean Salisbury are all on the same page. We'll go coach UFL.
Yeah, I would coach college, JB, if I knew the head coach.
Me too.
And it was the right spot. My thing is, like, you got to trust. You and your head coach got to have a relationship, and it's got to be built on trust, and you got to know he's solid, and he got to know you solid, because otherwise, man, your life going to be miserable in college.
Hey, Shaun, here's the thing, though. First of all, I don't think young coaches understand their number one job description. And their number one job description is, and I've never had one person answer me correctly ever. And I said, what is your job as an assistant coach? What's your number one fucking job? To recruit.
Can I answer?
Yeah.
In my opinion, support the head coach.
Protect the head coach.
Yep, absolutely.
Protect the head coach. And I think protect is a whole nother ballgame that these kids have no clue what the fuck that means. And that means, number one, control your position group to where I don't ever get that notice on my desk. I don't get the quarterback coach. Hey, Shaun, why am I hearing about Malik Robin McDonald's last night? Why did I hear from you first?
Right.
Like, number one. Number two is prep tomorrow today. So if the head coach asks you as an assistant for something, the number one compliment I could give on a recommendation to an assistant is, I asked for something and that motherfucker handed it to me right there. And he didn't say, oh, let me get it to you tomorrow. Let me get it to you next week. I'm firing that guy because that guy's anybody. The guy that's different gets head jobs. 13 of those guys I hired as a non-paid GA types are now coaching Division I. And it's like, there's a reason. And then my number one question I would ask on the interview, Shaun, when can you be here? How fast can you get here? And you know what, Shaun? If I hear, I got to ask my wife, and I got to put together, bye, click. You know what the answer should be, Shaun? I'll pull my fucking hamstring getting there. That's what they don't understand. I'm going to pull my fucking hamstring getting there, coach. I'll be there tomorrow morning. Like,
well, let me say this, JB. JB, let me say this, because everything you said was 100% accurate, but you know, I like to butt you a lot because you.
Now hold on. I'm not interviewing a Shaun King at 46 saying that. I'm interviewing a
young kid.
A 20-year-old.
Okay, right. Okay, that's the context I was gonna put on it because
I know where you was going. I'm already.
Yeah. You know, most established coaches that like get multiple calls to come somewhere else. First thing I'm gonna do is go tell my head coach that I'm getting offered this opportunity, and if this money is more over here, me and my current head coach, we got to address the financial side because a lot of times that's leverage. Yeah. But to you young coaches, you can't go in there and lie because that head coach is going to pick up the phone and call JB and ask JB, is he really offering you a job? So
you know how many I get? You know how many of those? You know how many of those I got? Shit. Yeah. That's real shit.
Unbeknownst to most people in this world, almost every sitting college football head coach communicates with his peers. Like they talk.
Hell yeah. It's all who you know and who knows you. This ain't no. Shaun, I learned real quick when you get to the national scale, national level, and getting to sit in with your boys like a Sark or a Carroll or a Lane, and you're sitting in those meetings, Willie Fritz, and he's in spring, and he just got the job. So I'd go with those guys because they're my boy. I'd go with those guys early spring, like winter, where they're just now creating their new job. Haven't even hired a staff yet, right? I'm in those meetings when he's putting together his admin staff, and they're in meetings, and he's setting the tone, and they're hiring coaches. And I'm in there. And then you'll have the secretary bring in 1,000 resumes. Man, Willie and Sark and them fucking that spike that shit right into the trash can. Ain't no coach looking at no resume. This ain't LinkedIn.com and fucking Monster and all that shit. We're not hiring off those. Hey, Shaun.
It's strictly.
Hey, Shaun, dog, you know, hey, I need a DB coach.
I need a motherfucking
DB coach. I need a DB coach. Hey, you got any GAs? Hey, Sark, you got any GAs you had at SC that could be a DC for me at a JUCO? Send me that motherfucker. I'll have him for 1 year. He'll go coach D1, and then I'll get a next GA from you. All right, appreciate you, bro. Peace. Ain't no resume. Yeah. I'm not going through a million resumes.
It's all word of mouth.
Come on, these people. Hey, it's funny, Shaun, because you and I both get the same DMs, I'm sure. Arkansas came open, Coach JB. You got to apply for it. Right. Motherfucker, it's not on Indeed. Motherfucker, you act like you just applied for the head coach at Arkansas. Like, come on, man. These cats are really delusional and thinking that they understand. It's like, come on, man. You don't get it. This is not how it is. The AD already has a short list of 4 guys before the job was even open.
And it's only really 3 big-time search firms out there, and generally one of those 3 are going to always be in control of the top 70 jobs in college football.
And, Shaun, I'm going to be honest, those search firms, in my opinion, are full of shit. Because here's the reason why. If you put the president of the school, and I said this on McAfee years ago, and it got a lot of notoriety. If you're a president, you should be different. You're a doctorate, PhD, degree-holding human, which is the 1%er. You can't make a decision for what's best on your campus where your kids are affected by you, the president, by hiring a employee, which is the football coach, the athletic director, a math teacher, whatever. You're useless. If you got to go get a search firm to hire a guy who's never been on my college campus, by the way, your search firm has never been on my campus, doesn't know that my kid, doesn't know who recruited my kid. They don't know the mom and dad of my kid, Shaun. And you're going to hire my kids' coaches? To me, it is the most backwards way of hiring in the world is college athletics, which is now professional sports. Let's be honest, because they make so much money. Let's just be real. There's no way that that's the way it should be going down. Because I think if you offer less money to a Shaun King, Jason Brown, these other guys say, hey, you know what? We'll give you a 1-year deal, and I'll give you $500, and I'll still give you the same pool of money for your assistants, and so you can compete. And just show me some progress.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend $8-10 million on you to fire you in 2 years and pay you out. I'll do a prove it deal, Shaun. Yeah. These ADs and presidents are absolute buffoons, and they hold PhDs.
Here's what's crazy. And listen, shout out to the search firms, because I mean it's a hell of a concept, and to figure out that you can monetize it at that high level, like it takes some brilliance to come up with that. So I'm not against the search firms, because obviously they found a part of the market and they've captured it. I think on the university side, it creates separation from the outcome of the decision. If you look at it, it's like, okay, the president can blame the search firm. You know, the AD can blame the president. Like, it gives everybody a level of separation if the hire doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I want to be clear, ad walk here. You're completely wrong. It's not. It's what Shaun just said. It is a protective measure. It has nothing to do. By the way, a search firm. So you're telling me, ad walk, that in Division I Power 5 coaching, you need a search firm to scan the landscape for a fucking coach? Come on, man. So you think that Alabama walks open and we have to go scan America to find the best coach? Get the fuck out of here. You already know who it is. Kirby, do you want the job? You want to come back? No? Okay, cool. Hey, Sark, you want the job? You want to come back? Oh, no? Okay, cool. Hey, Dan Lanning, I know you're coaching the SEC at Georgia. Do you want to come back? No. All right, cool. Hey, guess what? Now we're going to go to our bottom tier. So, hey, Coach Norvell, would you like to come from Florida State and come take this job? Oh, no? Okay. Hey, Dave, hey, Dabo, I know you're an Alabama alum. You coach for Saban. You want to come home? Oh, no? Okay, cool. Let's go to DeBoer. A guy that just played the Natty. It's not that fucking hard. It's not as landscape. You're not going through high school coaches and junior college and fucking Division II coaches to find the next coach at Alabama. You guys just be talking. Anyway.
Hey, Adwalk, I'm not as mean as JB. Thank you for your opinion. JB thinks it was wrong.
But JB don't like no opinions. Anybody put a comment on here, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're ignorant, you have no resume.
You have it. See, Smitty. Hey, Shaun, Smitty's not really hip to game. He doesn't understand, like, every day's an interview. Shaun's interviewing every day. Shaun is putting that shit out. He's correct. Shaun is ready to go to Fox, Smitty. Call somebody. Let's go.
Hey, I did what I could do. I did my we know, we talk, we ain't nothing that, you know what I mean? Don't need to be said.
Smitty, here's what I know.
Yeah.
You don't win the batting crown on every single, but every single adds up.
It's a point.
Come on now.
That's all, baby. All I'm looking for is a whole bunch of singles, and then I get my at bat, and we're gonna take advantage of it.
And then we go from
there.
And
I'm gonna still do the JB and Smitty show. But I'm just telling you, the stress level, Smitty, of being in a profession where you never hold the keys to what's next.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hell of a way to live, man. Like, no matter what level of job I do this year, I could be unemployed in 6 months. My head coach might take a job to another. Perfect example, Willie Taggart.
Yep.
We win back-to-back double-digit win seasons. I coach Quentin Flowers, Player of the Year. Taggart takes the Oregon job. Now, I got a hell of a decision to make. My kids are real young at the time. My mom, everybody is in Tampa. Like, moving to Oregon is like a hell of a deal.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking in my mind. I never got invited to go to Oregon.
So, hey, it didn't matter what you believed, huh? It didn't matter how you felt about the move. You wasn't going anywhere.
Hey, Shaun, that's how it is. That's how it is, brother. People don't realize that's how it is. They don't really
grimy, boy.
They don't get that shit. They don't understand that shit at all. Hey, real quick, I know We're gonna end the show with some hell yeah, hell no. But I wanted to ask you real quick, since we've been waiting 2 days on this, we can't let it slide. The Elite 11 was just came out, and explain to everybody what the Elite 11 is, so everyone understands. Basically, the best high school kid, they take 11 guys, they take them out. We've been seeing these Elite 11. Malik was the best quarterback in Elite 11 with Jalen Hurts when he came out years ago when he went to Florida State out of high school. But have you kept up with any of this? Do you know what's going on in this? And Ohio State got themselves another one. Where are you at with this?
I'm not as familiar with maybe the kids in this year's Elite 11. Like, meaning I don't really know who the top juniors and seniors in high school are, because that's not, in my purvey of what I'm trying to do right now. But I am familiar with the event. And the way I always told quarterbacks was, it's not the top 11 quarterbacks. It's the most well-known 11 quarterbacks in the country.
I did it one year, Shaun. I did it one year. And I'm telling you right now, 5 or 6 of them motherfuckers were horrific. I saw better kids where I was coaching.
Right. It's kind of like if a kid maybe developed early and came on the radar at 9.
Or had a big IG following, Twitter following.
Or he went to one of the right schools. Like, those are the kids that are at that event. Some talented kids now, but definitely not necessarily top 11. I like it because, for one, it makes you compete. I think it exposes you to some I think, pertinent and interesting mentor-mentee relationships. I know Trent Dilfer used to run it, and I know Trent did a really good job. I'm not sure who runs it now. That Trent's the head coach of UAB, but, I mean, it's good exposure. I think the one thing that I would always stress to all of those kids, this don't mean shit. Like, this is a cool experience. This don't mean shit. If you don't get a better work ethic than you had in high school, if you don't humble yourself when you get on campus and not go in there entitled, if you don't understand that you have deficiencies that you got to get better at, then guess what? This will be the highlight of your football career. You know, just as many kids go to Elite 11, be top first-round picks, just as many end up not ever playing in college.
Yeah, I agree.
And here's the one thing I would caution him, and I hate to use him as an example because I don't think he's a bad kid, but the exposure Spencer Rattler got in high school stayed with him throughout his entire career up until now.
What about Tate Martell?
Yeah, Tate Martell never made it. I mean, he ruined himself off the field, but like Spencer Rattler could never undercome being that spoiled brat that was on that reality show in high school.
Yep.
Like, people never forgot that.
And Malik on Last Chance U with Me got kind of blackballed just like I did. I mean, it's just what it is. So
Malik. I coached Malik at Team Tampa.
Oh, okay.
Good kid, just like Malik had to be somewhere with complete structure.
Yes.
Malik was Malik's worst own enemy. Long as he was around the right people and he had a schedule, like he always kind of had like a enigmatic personality, meaning like he'd be up one day, down the next, but he'd do right. It's when Malik got by himself. Like, he just man, Smitty, Malik might disappear for 2 days. Who knows? Be on the north side of town with some chick. And then he wasn't like a malicious kid, though. He'd come back the next day and say, I'm sorry, my bad. And then maybe just too much too soon for him.
Right.
But he was talented, though.
And I was a 2-star guy, had one full Division I offer, so my experience was a little different. I was very humble, very hard work. I couldn't afford to make any mistakes because that's all I had was that. So my experience was a little different. I couldn't imagine being one of these 5-star kids, been a star since you was in 8th grade, So
hey, Shaun, your prediction came right. Florida Panthers NHL champ.
I told you Bobrovsky was gonna have a big game. Gave it one goal.
What do you think about the Conn Smythe going to the loser though? That's the world we live in now, ain't it?
Yeah, I think that's some BS. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, how you get an MVP of the Super Bowl to somebody on the losing team? Like,
it's not just the Stanley Cup; it's the entirety of the playoffs. And Nate Davis was by far the best player.
Smitty, I broke it down to start the show. I broke it down.
I broke it down better, so I don't care about your breakdown.
You didn't break it down better.
I broke it down way better.
You just disrespected your black counterpart host on this show.
So just because we disagree, it's called disrespect. That's the problem. You white people think when black people disagree that we too aggressive and we mad at each other. I ain't mad. This is my brother. I'm not mad at all. We disagree. I ain't no disrespect.
You come in the show late. You come in the show late. You leave early. You come and then you wonder why we always talk about come on, man.
Say it. Look at you. Say it. I heard you about to say you almost said it. Look at you. Almost slipped up.
What?
You wonder why what? You wonder why what? Yeah.
BPS.
Yeah.
What do you talk about BPS? What do you mean? All right, Shaun, we're gonna do some hell yeah, hell no.
Hey, y'all two are funny, by the way. Y'all are funny.
Hell yeah, hell no. Smitty, you got it, Smitty.
Let's do it then. Hell yeah, hell no. The NCAA will eliminate walk-ons.
What?
They're talking about it.
Shit, Shaun, it's already done deal, Shaun.
Are y'all being serious?
Yeah, it's already in the deal.
In the works.
Yeah, they got it in court.
The problem is, Shaun, just to use a quick well, from my point of view, is that these collectives, right? They're now paying basically full ride scholarships to walk-ons through the collective. I think they got Kermani McLean or whatever was one of the latest examples where it happened. To where now it's almost like additional scholarships in a way through the collectives. So they're seeing this. I think they're trying to stop that from happening. Basically, they're like, oh no, they feel like it's like a cheat code, I guess.
So you cut your nose off to spite your face? Like
that's what they're trying to do.
I mean, what are we talking about? 1% of the walk-ons in America right now?
But Shaun, back in the day, Shaun, back in the day, we used to we called them program builders, and there is no programs anymore because we move guys around every quarter, every semester. So there's a new body of 30 every semester. So there's really no culture no more. So I think they're trying to eliminate. Process of elimination is get rid of possible payouts that we're gonna have to give a preferred walk-on or somebody that's earned a scholarship. With all those great videos we've seen for years, where the head coach says, "Hey, Johnny, you want to welcome new scholarship?" They're going to get rid of it all. They'd rather focus on the collective and the NIL money, in my opinion, and on those 85 scholarships. I just think that's what they're doing. And the NCAA, once again, non-caring assholes of America, are eliminating being the judge, jury, and the executioner. I hope it don't go through. I hope it don't go through.
Here's the side effects that I don't think they thought about. And hell no to the question. Can you even practice without your allotment of walk-ons? I mean, because you're talking that's how you get through practice. You're talking about a first and second team offense, a first and second team defense,
right?
Then having to come up with scout teams for both of those.
That's a good point. I ain't think about that.
20. That's what 20. That's 40. I mean, you even got enough to get through practice.
Shaun, but nowadays though, they're not even. I mean, look at how what these practices are. They're 7-on-7, skelly and pods and endo. I mean, it's not like cats out here just straight Oklahoma drilling that shit up 3 days a day.
Hey, it's some old school coaches out there in the spring now, JB. To still.
Hey,
JB did the whole everybody gets soft. It ain't like that everywhere.
Hey, Shaun, I wouldn't have a fucking camera or a mic if I was coaching again. The motherfuckers would be like, "What's going on over there in Miami with JB coaching over there? Nobody's seen anything." No shit. We got motherfuckers coming out of practice every day.
Casting shit on their arm. All right, move on to the next one, though, man. Hell yeah, hell no, man. The Chiefs will win the AFC West.
I mean, that's a moderate hell yeah. Meaning that it's likely, but I'm not pulling for it. I want to see some new blood. I want to see Harbaugh, become a true, competitor for Andy Reid. I want to see Antonio Pierce do the unthinkable. And take the Raiders in his first time head coach, to the AFC West title. I want something like that storyline. I'm not pulling for Sean Payton because of how they handle Russell Wilson, but the other two, I would like them to win. But most likely, Patrick Mahomes and company will get it done.
I got another for you, Shaun. Hell yeah or hell no. This will be Dak Prescott's final season as a Dallas Cowboy.
Hey, why did I get to fucking answer a question?
Because I don't care about your answer. You've been talking all damn show. It's time for Shaun, who's our special guest.
Y'all are funny, man. Y'all worse than Cain and Abel.
And you know what happened in that story. Yeah, keep fighting with me.
What was it? Dak Prescott.
Last season as a Cowboy. Hell yeah, hell no.
I'm gonna say a moderate hell yeah. Meaning that Dak's done enough, in my opinion. Dak's done more than other quarterbacks at other places to have gotten an extension. If you look at what other quarterbacks in the league have done that are getting extended, Dak's done more than that. I know he's flamed out in the playoffs, and obviously that's an issue. And I don't say I disagree with it, but there's some other guys getting extensions that have done way less than Dak. So I think the Cowboys not signing him, it spoke volumes. I think a lot of it, and probably 80% of it, has more to do with the fact that they like CeeDee Lamb and Michael Parsons more. And I think one of those three was going to end up being a fatality of the salary cap, and it looks like it's going to be Dak.
Two more.
Context. If Dallas gets hot and goes to the NFC Championship game, then all bets are probably off.
Right. So kind of make it or break it here. Two more. Hell yeah, hell no. Aaron Rodgers will win another MVP this season.
MVP. You mean like at the Jets training camp? Did they give it like an MVP for training camp or something? Like, come on, man. You crazy.
I guess it's a hell no. All right, well,
Hell no. Like, I don't even think Rodgers plays a full season again in the NFL.
Woo-wee. All right, man. Last one. The 49ers will make a Super Bowl in the next 2 seasons.
Why 2? Shanahan's the best fucking coach ever, according to you.
I'm going to say hell no. I think the 49ers missed their window. I think post Tom Brady Bucs Super Bowl, the NFC was really watered down in a lot of ways. And I think they kind of missed their window. Purdy getting hurt in the NFC Championship game versus the Eagles, unfortunate. Them having the Chiefs beat, not being able to beat them. Like, I think they missed it. I think it's a little Ayuk unhappy. You know, people got another year of film on Purdy, a little bit older on defense. NFC overall has gotten a lot better. Green Bay's better. Detroit's better. Like, Kirk is in. Not saying that they're not a good team, but I think they missed the window.
Hey, hell yeah, hell no. Taylor Swift and Travis I'm just kidding. I don't even know. I'm just fucking wanted to bring it up.
Hey, Travis, man, you better get you one in the oven, baby. I thought that was the only reason he went into that. Come on, man.
Got him a billionaire. He winning right now. On stage, performing with her. She wrote a song about him. He's winning.
Hey, man, Trav better go and get one in the oven. Be locked in for life.
Travis ain't got to catch another damn touchdown if he don't want to.
Hey, here's what's crazy about the power of, and not crazy, but to those who don't know, Travis Kelce is now a bigger celebrity than Patrick Mahomes.
100%.
I said that last
year. When Mahomes and Kelce went to the Mavs playoff game, if you look at like all the behind the scenes stuff, people were seeking out Travis more so than Patrick.
Yep, that's a fact.
And Jason used that as well. And that Kelce family, that podcast, everything blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that jab.
Did he get percentage of the Eagles or something? I see. Is he turning down the broadcasting job?
He got Moderna. He got Moderna stock.
I thought I saw somewhere the Eagles were offering him a percentage ownership of the team.
I might just look it up and see. I mean, that could
Hey,
be.
man, JB, keep politics off of the show, man. You guys,
Shaun, I'm so glad.
Man,
I'm so glad to have another just like-minded person.
Hey,
this man brings up all the topics that he knows is not going to get us paid.
Hey,
he knows it's going to cause nothing but controversy.
Hey, Shaun, that's why
he brings up politics.
No,
the LGBTQ plus. He bring up what else? Religion. He bring up all the stuff you ain't supposed to talk about, and he loves to talk about it.
I'm just getting it out, Shaun, because it's going to be you and Weddle and Kyle Turley and all these NFL dudes on during the season, and it's all football. So I got to get it out right now. So I'm just letting you know we're going to blow up, get us all paid. We're going to be on the best real show on planet Earth.
Here's what I know about politics. You got to go be an extremist and get all the extremists to support your platform and follow them. But you can't ever go against their side now, or you're going to lose the support. And I don't want to live like that. And
exactly.
The reason I I stay away from it, you never change anybody's mind.
No, you're right.
No matter how right or wrong you may be, you're not going to change the other side's mind on anything.
You're right. But the other thing is, I'll never be the fall in line motherfucker either. See, that's the thing. That's why I'm trying to explain to this youngster over here on the right. But look,
and the fans don't. Hey, the fans don't care about none of the none. I say they don't care about us. Good, keep talking about it. Forget
they don't care about us getting a big contract deal.
Forget the brand sponsors. You keep talking about it.
JB, keep calling out the Hawk Tour.
Keep cussing us out.
That was so nasty. By the way, like
what you think about her?
The Hawk Tour thing. Like, come on, where's she hawking from? Like, I mean, I don't want nothing from Darnell. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. What's he dip for a living? Like,
hey, that's the actual.
That's all clumped up and thick. That ain't even like.
Yeah, hey, that's the actual. Hey, but you know, Shaun. I'm not gonna say we're not gonna dive too deep, but that's the spit we rather have than that. We don't want
right, right.
I don't want. I want that.
Yeah, let me tap into the saliva glands. I don't want nothing all.
JB, what you want, JB? What you want?
I want that. Hey, you know what we need to do? We need to do that. We need to do that and make our own fucking thing.
She coughed
Let's do it right now. Hey, Bailey, get a trademark. I want that.
She coughed up some COVID, man. I was like, you can keep that. Shout it.
Hey, Bailey, let's get a T-shirt made right now. I want that. Spit on that thing. Hey, we gotta end it. Hey, Shaun, appreciate you joining me on an off day. And
see y'all Thursday.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right.
Let's end the show. Hey, hell yeah, hell no. No longer JB thing. We don't ask me nothing ever again. Don't ever ask me a question again. So no, hell no. I put that solely on Bailey. Bailey's pay just went down. So make sure all you guys thank Smitty for that, Bailey.
Yeah.
So Bailey, come on in, Bailey. Yeah, come on in the show. Thanks, Smitty. Thanks, Smitty, Bailey, for that, because you produced that. And thanks a lot for not letting me say fucking anything on my own show. Appreciate you.
It makes more
sense.
By
the way, Bailey, you let a guy who comes in late, leaves early, comes back, avocado toast, yawning, all that shit. And then you let that guy do all the hell yeah, hell no.
It makes sense, JB. That's a quick statement.
See, that's why.
The problem is, JB.
It's BPS at the end of the day. Bailey used to be WPS. Now he's starting to turn towards you.
That's my brother, Jake.
No, it's not.
Bailey Daddy's a black man.
I'm not picking sides on this.
Bailey knows. He still knows.
He do that because he a fan and he supports you, he respects you. But Bailey's a black man.
Bailey knows the real. Bailey knows the real. Bailey will keep talking.
If stuff hits the fan, JB, Bailey is back out on the fields with me. Listen, hell yeah, hell no is a quick segment. It's not supposed to be long form. So,
but I didn't get to answer.
But when I bring you into the show, it makes it a long form segment that doesn't need to be that long. So it's supposed to be quick hitters. Hell yeah, hell no. What do you think about this? Hell yeah. Okay, boom. Next. We've made it to this 20, 30-minute thing because we go to conversation. We have a guest on it. Go ahead, man. Jump in.
Did you not let him answer? Because was the question about the Chiefs?
That wasn't my mindset. My mindset was we have a special guest on. Let's me and JB been talking all show long. Let's set up Shaun. Let's let him answer. Let's end the show that way. And you saw how smooth it went, how quick it went. That's how the segment's supposed. If y'all let me run stuff more, I'm glad we on here together. Let's all stay on here. If y'all let me run stuff,
I gotta go.
No, we stand on here.
I gotta go.
It makes everything go so much more smooth.
Hell yeah, no. There'll be no guests on this show going forward because I'll kick everybody off.
Hell yeah.
Hey, see, I got so many DMs. You kicking everybody off? Nah, Steve Kim next. Who's going to be on the show? Y'all don't even have a studio no more. Everybody's so worried about it's unbelievable.
No guests, no studio. They don't like me.
I got this. See, leaders, that's what leaders do. I got this. I got to calm the youngsters down. It is what it is. All right, let's get out of here. I got some people at the door. I got some Mexicans here, and I got some shit to do in the backyard. And so
they really here fixing my shit right now. You talking loud?
They really here too. It's crazy how they always everywhere.
Omnipotent.
Because you know damn well you're not changing no oil, no cutting no grass.
I fixing no AC unit. None of
I breaking no concrete.
I cut some grass. I cut some grass. I'm not doing all that other shit.
All right,
listen, it's 2024. We pay for convenience, JB. It don't make you soft because I got other things more important.
5 Hour Energy. We're sponsored by 5 Hour Energy. Make sure you head on over there and get JB a big time job. And hey, appreciate you guys. And we'll be back tomorrow. It's Work Boot Wednesday on the realest show on planet Earth. Bailey, take us away.
Issues get pressed so fast you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown, kill the it's a rap. We what the game.